up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going, Celtic Warrior Damon?
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to episode 1. That's right. This is Wrestling on the Rocks, where every show is our first show. We start over every time we go live. Guys, I am at Ref Marsh. We are at WOTR, the show. Amanda with us as always today. I'm still trying to get my stuff together, guys. I thought I was ready.
And producer lady off to the side.
Hello, gosh. How rude is he? Women are taking over.
And we've got Leah Moonlight in the chat. Thanks for coming through.
Cheers to Leah. Cheers to Just in Time coming through. I appreciate you guys having your alerts on because we went surprise early today. If you guys want to join in the chat as well, we are at twitch.tv/wrestling on the rocks. You can jump in the chat, derail the show, or just come by and tell us you're having a drink with us. Guys, if you are in the chat, tell us what you're having, what's in your glass. I'm going to start with me real quick. In my glass, I'm having some proper number 12. Amanda, what are you drinking?
Guess what? I actually was around a Sonic, and I have the favorite sponsored, not sponsored, cherry. But it's like cherry, and it's a PB and J, but cherry jelly. I've never had cherry jelly, but I don't know if that exists, but whatever. Too bad. So there's lots of screwball in here.
And have you tried...
I told you guys I was going to sober it, but yeah, I
knew it. I knew she was lying.
I know. I really was. I tried. And then this happened. Yeah. But it
have you tried putting capo in a Sonic no flavor slushy?
No. I haven't been home to actually do it, but next week is my I think I'm gonna do it next week.
Okay.
If I'm home. We'll see.
All right. All right.
Oh yeah.
Nice. We can't wait to hear about it. That's pretty dope though. The idea of cherry and screwball, cherry peanut butter kind of a deal. There is like cherry marmalades and stuff, so I imagine it's gotta happen somewhere.
Maybe. I don't know. Bacon jelly's good. I just want to put that out there in the universe.
And thanks, Leah Moonlight, for coming in even though you're moving.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Leah Moonlight's moving apartments. Awesome. Awesome. How you doing, Amanda? We haven't talked in like a week.
I know. I heard a rumor you actually watched some AEW. Is that true?
I did. What was supposed to happen is we had an indie wrestler who wanted to come on the show. And when I talked to him, I said, "Hey, we're more of a review show and less of an interview show." And he said that he would love to do that part. He goes, "I want to do that. I've not been on a review show. It's all interview shows." I said, "Okay." He says he only watches AEW. And I said, "I'll make a deal with you. I don't watch AEW at all, but if we're going to do a Thursday show, you watch NXT that week and I'll watch AEW that week, and then we'll do it." He was supposed to be on this week, so I was trying to watch AEW. Something came up. He's not going to make it.
He saw our show probably.
He probably just saw the show.
Mm-hmm. He's probably that drunk girl.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's probably like, I'll wait till
Can't
episode 2.
Whoops.
He doesn't want to be on an episode 1. But
Yes.
so I started trying to watch AEW, and I'll be honest, I did not see as much as one might think I was able to see with 2 weeks worth of AEW, because I started with the Saturday and the Wednesday, and I was like, I'm going to see how much I can watch of both of these. I'll tell you, I didn't watch an hour. So.
Did you jump around or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I tried to take it as it was.
Wait, is that your method, Amanda? Do you jump around?
Yeah, do you jump around?
Sometimes I do.
Well, okay,
because if I know something's gonna annoy me and make me turn it off and not watch it, if I'm not watching it live, I'll fast forward and then go back.
I don't think we do that for any show.
Yeah, I try not to cater too much in that direction, but I can appreciate the concept. I actually really appreciate the concept.
I mean, I don't want to see this didn't happen this week, but like if they put the new whatever, Ziggler Light is doing with his little faction or whatever the hell. I don't want to see Cesar Bononi and like versus, I don't know, some random dude. No, don't want to see that. Shouldn't be on Dynamite or something that's,
Remember when like they had like the new Rock and Roll Express and the new Midnight Express and did all those like new tag teams that were like callbacks, the new Blackjacks. Remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why Nick Namath hasn't started doing the new Job Squad.
I don't know.
Because I would get
that's
a
a
kick
good
out
thought,
of that.
though.
Especially because of how much he's leaned into the idea that he's a jobber over there, which I think is fantastic. I love the way he does it. He's always tweeting pictures of him in pain and stuff, being like, nobody retweet this and who did this, and it's him losing. Like he gets it, and he's in on the joke, and I actually get quite a kick out of it. It just makes me think that, the Job Squad leaned into the fact that they were all jobbers and it got them over. I wonder if
that'd be fantastic.
That's come across his mind.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. I'd watch that.
Well, Amanda, before we get into the news, I just want to knock this one out real quick. We got New Wave Coffee is still sponsoring our show. Newwave.co, NOOWAVE.co. Flow State Coffee is specialty grade coffee with L-theanine and rocket cow for productivity and creativity, better energy, focus, and mood than a regular cup of coffee, while decreasing the negative side effects like anxiety and blood pressure. I've been a big fan of this coffee, and I still am. So, guys, if you go to their website, newwave.co, NOOWAVE.co, and put in the promo code CHEERS, you get 10% off whatever you're ordering. And if it's a subscription, it's 10% off the first bag. If it's any of those other items, it's just flat out 10% off. And if they have a sale going on, the promo code does still work. It gives you an additional 10% off. So check them out. Give them a little shout out. If you get their coffee, let us know what you think about it. We'll retweet it. We'll do all that stuff. But yeah, that's New Wave, guys.
I can't wait to go home because I want to get some and use it with my French press because I don't want to drag my French press when I'm traveling.
Oh, yeah, I bet you it's really good with a French press.
Well, I know. I that's why I'm like, ooh. So I found it in my storage the other day, but I was like, no, I can't take it with me here.
You know how they have those little coffee pods out there and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Bishop from Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast. He's got New Wave coffee, and he got one of those little pods that you can refill. So he's putting the New Wave in that so he can have glasses, like a glass at a time kind of a deal. And he says it's been working out tremendously. So,
I'm gonna have to try that because we have the Keurigs over here.
Oh, yeah, that could be good.
Yeah.
All right, all right. And if you guys happen to be at Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast website, twtakes.com/twts. You can use the promo code DIVEBAR over there for like 25% off his already low prices and incredibly fast shipping. So just shouting that out too, guys.
You know what? Let's shamelessly plug, the our pro wrestling tees site.
Yeah, there's no reason not to cover it.
Yeah, because 20% off 4th of July or Canada Day if you're from Canada. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, it's definitely a twofer. If you go to prowrestlingtees.com/wrestlingontherocks, we've got 5 different designs. We've got the Ironics, Pointless Aggression, Drinking Buddies, Episode 1 again, and just the traditional purple animation of a bunch of us hanging out early on around table.
Not me. Not me.
Air horn going off. He's hitting them all. He's hitting them all. Thank you. We always appreciate Justin time. Cheers to Justin coming through. Justin, what are you drinking, man? What's in your glass?
Yeah.
I wonder if that guy's having Mountain Dew. But yeah, prowrestlingtees.com/wrestlingontherocks. If you use the promo code at checkout, Canada, or the promo code USA.
Oh, those are so hard.
Oh, I just keep coming. We might get one for each one of those, I'll be honest. The air horns. I don't know if the air horn comes through on the podcast. I just haven't figured that out. But if you're watching live, you might be hearing that. Let's see. Yeah, promo code USA or promo code Canada. Both will get you 25% off from July 1st all the way through July 5th.
20.
20%? Yeah, that's what I said.
I said 25. I thought you said 25. Oh,
did I say 25? I have no idea. It's 20%.
Yeah, this is going to be an episode, 20. Man. Oh, Lord.
Okay. Yeah, we're in it. We're in the weeds, man. Canada or USA, 20% off. So you guys can go and pick up those shirts during this massive sale for the weekend, man. And
Woohoo!
I'm going to remake this graphic. I'm going to remake it and say it's a birthday sale for Wrestling on the Rocks. And then I'll say that the promo code is USA, but I'm going to redo it so it says it's for me.
And thank you, Just in Time, for subscribing for 6 months.
Oh, Just in Time's been hanging. Absolutely. 20% off on prowrestlingtees.com/wrestling-on-the-rocks. Oh, man. Do you want to talk news, I guess?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's start with the sad stuff, guys. This one took me by surprise, to be honest. I mean, they always do, but Del Wilkes, the former Patriot from the WWE, and he did a lot more than what he did with the WWE, passed away at age 59.
Wow.
Really young. And I got the chance to watch him do a couple of those virtual meet and greets during the pandemic. It was like the signings and stuff, and he seemed like just a really nice and cool guy. He seemed really respectful to the fans and stuff, and I don't know. Always a shame. 59 seems really young.
Yeah.
But tears in our beers, and cheers to the Patriot. And man, right before July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
How wild.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
I wonder if he went real hard
Canada.
for July 4th, just, almost out of irony.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But blaming Canadians because it's Canada Day today. So
That's a good point.
sorry,
Blame Canada.
Canadian people. Sorry.
South Park always says blame Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, any news you wanted to throw out there?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, let's get some happy stuff. So my sister from another mister, my Korean sister, the lovely Sue Young has birthday. So woohoo! Girlfriend.
Cheers to Sue Young.
Woohoo! Or Susan or Susie, whichever, incarnation you'd like to say happy birthday with too.
Good point.
Mhm.
Do you have any cool Sue Young stories? You ever run into her in the indies?
We actually, there's one of her birthdays. This is a birthday story. When I was up in Washington at Defy, we actually went with her for her birthday. We went to this really cool arcade. I can't tell you the name of it because I don't remember, but it was really awesome. We were playing all sorts of different games, but then we went upstairs and they had a this little, I guess, like kind of this lounge area, and you can play the different, game systems. So all of us decided we were going to play, what was it, Super Smash Brothers. And also the people that were with us, one is a masked wrestler. So when we were, someone was Facebook living. So I'm like, you can't show homeboy because hello, So I'm like, why are we doing this? And we just had a really great time. And I remember Sue and I got really uber competitive with each other. It was great. And then her sister came along and all sorts of other people. So we had a really great time. So that's my girl.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my girl.
Do you remember who won that night?
Our Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It was kind of a tie.
All right.
I will say, Sue and I both did not win. Okay, just to say that we did not, but our unmasked friend won. And I think
Very nice.
Great. We can't celebrate this on. Yeah, sorry.
We can't even show pictures.
Can't show pictures. Yeah.
And
he's
we
like,
know
"I didn't wanna
about
bring
the
my
internet.
mask." And I'm
If
like,
there's one thing true that we've learned from the internet, it's if there's no pics, it didn't happen. So, sorry, man.
there is some, but I don't know if they've edited it so he's not on there. But I don't know.
I always get a kick out of those too. Like this was it last week or something. Like there was a bunch of NXT guys over at a baseball game, and two of the people in the pictures just had giant emojis over their faces, and you're like, oh, obviously those are some Max Strexlers that they're with. But I get a kick out of when they do stuff like that. Other birthday shout out, Rob Schamberger. Cheers to Rob Schamberger. And happy birthday. Go to shamburgerlabs.com and check out all of his prints and stuff. You can find shirts and prints on WWE Shop as well. If you go to the WWE Shop and go on the bottom to where it says Explore, you can click the little plus there and go to WWE Auction, and that's where you can find on auction, but it's actually just flat out for sale, is a lot of signed Rob Schamberger prints, which is where we get a handful of ours. If we really like the print, we want it signed, we'll wait for it to end up on auction, and most of them do. But other than that, we get a lot of stuff through the Schamberger Labs. So just a really cool dude. I've gone back and forth with him a couple of times. I've got friends who've interviewed him. Just seems awesome. Just an awesome guy. So happy birthday to him.
You like awesome people.
Yeah. Yeah. And his art's fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know if this is news, but maybe it's something I think I maybe imagined.
Sounds
but
promising.
Is Alberto Del Rio making a promotion? Or am I like
promotion? I thought I read he was trying to come back to wrestling. I don't think that I looked at what the idea was behind it. Let me see if I can find something.
Yeah, because I was like, what? That's kind of weird. But
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, because I saw a lot of people like, oh, why don't you bring this person and this person and this person? It's all the band people. I was like, oh, okay, that's a real.
It looks like about 5 days ago or a week ago or so, he did an interview where he said that he's done doing MMA. He's not doing that anymore. I don't remember if he even. No, he lost both of his fights. So yeah, he didn't win anything. Sounds like CM Punk also retired, completely defeated. Let's see, but he did say he's open to working with a WWE return. He would like to come back to WWE. I don't know that anybody wants him back.
I actually had a question for Amanda. Did you hear NJPW is doing a show in LA next month? Mm-hmm. Are you going?
No.
Okay, so
one of the reasons. Well, one of the reasons. And I was like, no, no, I didn't mean it like that. It's just, I think with the New Japan show and then me trying to open up our hotel, can't do it. But then look at me, I want to go to PWG on the 1st. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I have a feeling because it is the 1st and it is a Thursday. Their first one back is August 1st. We're going to hear some announcements. So I'm curious to know about them. But it will be breaking news if I see them. But so far, nothing. Usually it's around the 7 or 8 o'clock hour Pacific. So I will let y'all know. So, and if if anyone's asking me, is there Bola this year? I don't know. Just ask yourself, who's going to be in Bola? Because everybody's almost signed. And I don't know if it's going to be like, if you see all these AEW people, it's like, what is this? Fucking PWGEW or whatever? No. Pass.
Good point, too.
Yeah. But anyways, because I don't want to see Cody win it.
That would be funny.
No.
That would be pretty funny, though.
Spend time with your baby. God damn. Anyway.
Stay away from my PWG.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see, other news. Well, this one's kind of a touchy subject, speaking of, but before I get to this, speaking of MMA, Jake Hager announced doing another fight. So coincidental after he did that weird cage match. So
it was after the weird cage match. It's a good point.
So yeah, but hey, kudos to him. So my other bit of news is a little touchy for some people. Yesterday, So if you feel touchy about the whole speak out movement with wrestling, you might want to skip this. I'm just going to say I warned you, and if you don't.
I don't know where you're going.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is a statement. So yeah. Okay, so yesterday there was a very bizarre tweet that came out from this dude, and I don't even know who this guy is, but I guess he's the owner of XPW Wrestling, and they're going to be featured on the next what is that program's name? Why am I blanking? I've had too much to drink already.
XPW reboot shows Extreme Pro Wrestling. It's
No,
run by
the
Rob
one
Black.
behind the one that did the Nick Gage thing.
GCW?
No. That behind the Beyond the Mat or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Dark Side of the Ring.
Or Beyond the Ring. I don't know. Okay. But anyways, it was the weirdest tweet because he had a t-shirt. You heard some music, very familiar music. That's played on a piano, and it's scrolling down a t-shirt that says can't be canceled spelled wrong.
Yeah.
And the music of the keyboard was that of the villain Marty Scurll. Now there's a lot of people who were like, oh no, he needs to be canceled, look at this brouhaha. I've muted a lot of these people, so I don't see it. My take is this: I think that Marty, if he were to ever come back, it's not going to be done like that. Some random dude that runs some random promotion. No way. There's no way. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay. But I'm just saying he has so much of a creative mind. He wouldn't do that. So that's where I'm thinking, it's a fake. It's just to pull people. But I don't know. What are your thoughts, you guys?
Well, I'm looking at the article about it, and it looks like an update came through this morning by Rob Black, the person who owns XPW, and it says, it's been brought to my attention from some wonderful Twitter fans that the music I randomly used for a teaser promo, so he's saying that he randomly used it, because it was, I believe it was Marty's music, right, where it had the piano, and it was going like, whoop, whoop, in the background. It says that I randomly used for a teaser promo was that of a suspected sexual abuser. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to use that. I will take it down immediately. I will try to do better in the future. And that Facebook post he had with that video is gone. But there's a screenshot of someone replying to the tweet about it. It says, well, the music you used for your promo is the theme song from Marty Scurll, a wrestler who was outed last year, someone who took advantage of a teenager who was intoxicated. Probably not a great choice for a song who gives people the impression that you're booking him. And he responded with, oh my god, holy shit, I didn't know that, fuck, thank you for telling me this, I'm going to pull down the trailer right now, I can't believe I did something so stupid, thank you for smartening me up, again, thank you very, very much. And then it says others have reached out to say, yeah, right. It says others have reached out as well to say that Marty Scurll will not be on that show. Rob continued to tweet on the matter. He says, never thought it would be this easy to trigger a bunch of millennial wrestling fanboys. # cancel XPW. Come on, boys, let's get it trending. Let's be woke. And has a picture of someone crying. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I agree with you that it's a little on the nose for something that Marty would do. I think that if Marty was coming back, he has traditionally done things in a more surprising fashion and a little less on the nose than that. So I mean, I agree that I probably don't agree that the person had no idea.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even super familiar. Like, I've seen more Marty matches than times I've seen his entrance, and I heard the music and go, this feels like Marty music, like the piano and the whoop. Like, I thought that was him.
Really?
So for the guy to be like, I had no idea. It's all like, look, I've never even really seen him. Let alone book him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How did you not know?
I'm puzzled. How have you not seen the entrance?
I've seen like pictures of his entrance, but I've just kind of gone into matches on YouTube and stuff.
Well,
and then, I mean, also when we saw him at the NWA tapings and stuff, they didn't use entrance music.
No.
You know, so I mean, I've seen the gear he has for his stuff, but I didn't follow every single thing he ever did by any means.
Yeah.
I caught a few matches here and there. You know, obviously I was impressed by his matches, but I didn't latch onto his music in such a way that I was all like, this is iconic music. I mean, in a sense, it is.
It is to some people.
For sure.
I'm one of those because
But I'm saying even as a casual viewer.
Yeah. Casual
not
viewer,
something that-
no. But the casual viewer, if they saw one of his entrances with the big coats and the mask and the whole thing, they'd be, what the fuck is that? And they'd want to watch and see. So,
for sure.
yeah.
But I'm saying as someone who was more of a casual Marty fan, as much as I liked him, I never really like thought deeply about his music specifically. So it was the kind of thing where even me, who's not heard his music 1,000 times, saw this video and even I was all like, that sounds like Marty's music. You know what I mean? And I only heard it a couple times. So for the person who's booking it to say they had no idea, I don't think I buy into that. But who knows what happens?
Yeah, no, he had an idea. There's no way. I mean, because with that particular entrance, and a lot of these millennial fanboys that like to cancel everything and have canceled Marty, my opinion is, you know what? You were the ones that were whoop whooping, not when it was whoop whoop time. The people I hate and hated. So at least, if he ever does come back, thank God, you guys aren't going to be doing whoop whoop when it's not whoop whoop time. That's all I got to say about that one. But, if he does come back, and I'm not saying this to go, spike his views or whatever, but when he first became that character, there's a bunch of YouTubes on his YouTube channel that's how he introduced the villain. So if something is simple from going from a drunk frat boy guy to the villain, if he was doing things like that, I have no doubt in my mind that when he comes back, and I'm saying when he comes back, because it's gonna happen and y'all are gonna have to live with it. When it does, it's going to be done in some grand way.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but you know what? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
He's not Joey Ryan. He's not Velveteen Dream. He's not all of these other people. But, it's okay for TJP to still be around. And he's worse than Marty.
He's been out for a ton of stuff.
Yeah. So, anywho, it's exciting. It got me a little angry because I'm like, what the fuck? There's no way. He would never do that. But it was very interesting because that day on Marty's Instagram, the little the video posty thingies.
Yeah, the little story
the stories. He had posted one that was very interesting. It was a quote. And I'm going to quote that because I thought this was interesting. It says, without change, nothing would grow. And without growth, nothing would survive. I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if that was his response to everything, because when I looked at the timestamp of when that was posted and all this other stuff and when that brouhaha started, that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I wonder if his mentions were blowing up at the time, and
probably, but we've
talked about it before. There's got to be an end point. If somebody did something, there's got to be a point of growth or a point of redemption, or some sort of expectation. I think mutually drunk people make mutually bad decisions, and it depends on where they move from there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
I've seen him when he's Party Marty, his moniker. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've had him say weird things to me, which are kind of funny in hindsight, but at the end of the day, it was like he didn't remember doing that.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I give him more of the benefit of the doubt. And, other people cancel me. I don't care. Because you know what? He's always been, for me, he's always been good people, a good friend, and so I support the guy.
I mean, I've known a lot of drunk people to do a lot of bad things, and I've known a lot of people to become sober and make better decisions after that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them. Time will tell. Was there anything else news-wise going on?
No.
Well, since last week, I remember we had an entire discussion about the WWE writer, and the very next day she was let go. And I was just wondering Amanda's thoughts on that.
that's kind of sad. I mean, I understand why she got let go, but also it's like, if you're being sarcastic about, oh, I don't know what this is and whatever, I mean, that's one thing, because sarcasm can be, you know, it could be anything, and you know, someone's going to get offended by it. I think there's a little bit more outrage about it than there should have been with a lot of people, and I'm like, she made a mistake, you know, whatever, but it was nothing to like grill this woman, and I felt bad. But then again, it's like, well, her job is open now, but that doesn't mean you're gonna fill the shoes, because there's a reason why they hired her in the first place, because they're not going to just hire anybody. So think about that. That's my thought.
I just thought it was crappy that it all had to happen that way. Like, and then even since then, she posted a screenshot of some of the emails that she's been getting from people and says it comes in every day. She's still getting them of just shitty wrestling fans being assholes, just calling her names and stuff. And I'm all like, well, I'm glad that all the different podcasts came out and tried to ridicule and get the mob riled up about it. So it was just shitty that people can't be objective.
Yeah, it's like everyone that was arguing against supporting her, you know, I'm not sure what they were thinking the end goal was going to be, because I mean, you get everyone riled up, and for what? To make her feel like crap because you did a bit more than that. You got representation kicked out. Yeah.
The amount of podcasts too that I saw go on and say things all like, look, that's not what we were trying to have happen, but still she probably shouldn't have done this or that. And it's like, okay, I guess we can keep pushing it back on her. She did everything wrong. Wrestling fans are always right. But it's just fucking bogus, man. Wrestling fandom is the only fandom I think that is that adamantly into gatekeeping and spewing hatred in defense of the thing that they love. You know what I mean? It's like, it's more important for you to get hate out than it is for you to accept. Like, wrestling fans are what drives viewership down. Wrestling fans is what keeps people from getting into the fandom. Because instead of saying like, oh, you're new to wrestling, how exciting, let me show you some cool stuff, let me show you what makes it interesting to me, they say, well, if you don't know, you don't know. And you're all like, well, you could welcome people and teach them, but that's just not what they're about, man. It's not what wrestling fans like to do.
Yeah.
No. I miss those days.
Yeah. That's why I think it sucks that the WWE writers room lost an African American woman. What a voice to have in there. So.
Comedic woman.
Yeah, and a successful comedian. So for all the dumb jokes they have, it could be really nice to have somebody who's actually good at jokes. So, but I don't know. What do I know? I know less than the internet wrestling community does, apparently. They know it all.
Yeah, they do know it all. Oh. You know, they know, they can smell a pedophile a mile away or whatever, or or someone who's
that doesn't sound good, Amanda.
Well, no, it's true. It feels like that. It's so true. Like, I mean, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm an old fart. Okay, I admit that I'm old, and when I grew up, there's a whole like sexuality and and things. It was a whole different thing. And the attitudes and everything were different. So, people want to stone me, because, I came from another time. Sorry, I'm not a millennial. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a Gen Xer. And you know what? Things were different.
And
so, yeah.
And she was not the only person let go. There was talent that was let go well that we didn't get into.
Yeah.
Who exactly was let go?
Oh, let me pull it up. We talked about it on Tuesday. I didn't think we were going to go through this. What do you have the list in front of you?
I don't. Okay. But I know off the top of my head, Killian Dane was one that I was pretty bummed at. And the other day, NXT UK had tweeted a snippet of him and Maverick, and I just responded with a "you make me sad," GIF, and then like within seconds they took it down. but I think it was just their automatic one because they didn't realize, hey, that's really horrible timing. But yeah, he was amazing. I really enjoyed watching him every time he was in the ring. I thought he was great with Maverick. So that was a real bummer.
As far as the wrestlers got let go, it was Breezango, Killian Dane, Arya Davari, Marina Shafir, Everrise, Arturo Raus. Oh no, it's not Raus. It's Uwas. Tony Nese, the Bollywood Boys, August Gray, and Kurt Stallion. So anything you want to say about that, you can.
I'm kind of shocked. I already know that Tony Nese already had put the date that he can actually work out there in the ether. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, he was when he got signed, if I remember correctly, he was in a pretty good. He was getting himself a pretty good position on the indies. I think same with Kurt Stallion. And even Arya Davari. I mean, and it's kind of sad because it's like, okay, Brazango's another thing. Kind of shocks me a little that they let it ride this long, but is what it is. Because whatchamacallit, Fandango had a long tenure with WWE. From his days at OVW and stuff like that. So yeah, he was there a long time. So kudos to him, but still kind of sucks, so I don't know. It makes me wonder now, the next time they do cuts, who else is going to get cut in that like little indie-rific spot?
And I know a lot of people online were saying, oh, well, they're definitely going to sell now. Of course, because I don't know, dirt sheets probably say that, but I don't think this is that, because you also have them on the flip side having an open call, a try out and make it NXT in Vegas happening soon. So I don't, to me, it doesn't come off as a company that's wanting to sell. I think there's something else going on, and I think Marsh had some idea.
Yeah, we talked about it on Tuesday. Do you have any ideas, Amanda?
But the tryout is weird.
Yeah, they're doing the tryout in Vegas, and then if you look at their like corporate jobs, they're still bringing in a lot of positions, a lot of temp positions, a lot of positions overseas. Like, it doesn't look like. I mean, it looks like business as usual if you look at it from just kind of that perspective.
It's just kind of weird because it's like, well, I hope these people know, and especially someone who's an indie guy that's like just getting his bearings and stuff like that. Dude, there's probably a huge chance that, they'll sign you because you're going to go for a low rate, but are they going to keep you? And that's part of like what you need to do. And I mean, there's so many stories about people who have tried out for WWE and didn't get it. Jeff fucking Cobb. Okay. Yeah. Jeff Cobb. That just amazes me. Yeah. Twice. They didn't sign him.
Hammerstone's tried out like 2 or 3 times.
Hammerstone. Yep. All these guys, a lot of these guys.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa tried out and was offered a ref position famously, which I think she'd make a tremendous ref. Not lying.
Yep. Guevara and Starks. Carl Fredericks.
Kingston.
And look at where those 3 guys are now. New Japan. He went to the dojo, Carl. And I'm excited because I get to see him at my home promotion next week. I'm totally excited. God, it's good to have wrestling back. So plug for West Coast Pro Wrestling over in South San Francisco. What up? I heard there might be a surprise person coming to visit.
Be good.
Can't say who. It's not the guy behind me.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what's going on with anybody. I think that realistically, though, that if you scope out and take a look at who they're letting go and what they're doing on TV, I don't think that they're connected. I don't think those decisions are made on the same in the same breath. I don't think the same creative meeting is also saying, and we'll let these guys go. They're using these people all the way up until the moment that they're released. I don't think that those are the same conversation. And I don't know what talent has to do with selling an entire company. Talent is such a small part of that company at this point. They are everything that we see and probably the smallest number of working staff on the day-to-day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So we think it's everything. We think the staff is the entire promotion, but realistically, with the company as large as WWE, the talent in ring is probably the smallest bit on the coin. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just what we see. It's just what's face forward. So I have no idea what's going on.
But the talent in the ring is what makes the money. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's the face of the company. But there's a whole. That's the tip of the iceberg. It's what you see. You see the tip of the iceberg. You don't see the iceberg underneath the water, and that's the rest of the company.
And the fact that a lot of those talent that were let go were traveling a lot, longer distances than others. So
yeah, we were noticing a few of them were not local to Florida. So don't know if that has anything to do with it either. I don't know if they're trying to like shorten up their travel thing, but bottom line is we don't know. We're just wildly speculating. So don't know. Good luck to the guys. I expect big things from a lot of them. We'll see what happens. Was there any other news?
Well, this can lead into AEW.
Happy Canada Day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Bret Hart.
Yeah, there's two things that we can lead into AEW with.
Do it.
All right. The first one is former WWE. I don't remember what Sanjay Dutt was doing exactly for WWE. All I know
He was
is
a producer backstage.
Oh, yes. Well, he was cut. But guess where he's going? Oh,
he wasn't cut.
No.
He asked for his release and they gave it to him.
Oh.
It was that or he just allowed his contract to be up. Like it was a decision that he made. He didn't want to be with the company anymore.
Well, he's now with AEW as a backstage producer. And what is he working on? The women's division. So I'm hoping Sanjay's awesome. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Sanjay, but Sanjay's an awesome person. And also I think Tony Khan is maybe thinking if some things go global, obviously Sanjay was very, very involved when Impact went to India or some wrestlers going over there. Same with WWE. So that could be impactful, but I will say, knowing that he's going to be producing a lot of the women's things, I think some of those ridiculous things are going to go away.
Maybe. It'd be nice. But at this point, I don't know that I've seen anything from this person's backstage, and now, therefore, there's a difference in anything. Everything seems business as usual every time I tune into AEW, so hopefully that's true. I hope so. I mean, they've been, at this point, been around for, 2 years now? A little over 2 years?
Almost 2, yeah.
It's about time to stop giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying they'll get to it and start saying what's going on with the women's division, people were critical like in the first month or two, and then the company said, give us time, be patient, give us the benefit of the doubt, it's going to be amazing. And then nothing really since, except for a couple things here and there with Thunder Rosa, who's not even in the company.
And it's sad when they're like probably one of their most popular, and I think Thunder Rosa has more of a fan base than Britt Baker. Yeah. But when you look at it, she's not even signed to that company. Yeah. So I don't know.
It just they got a lot of talent there, so I'd like to see a change. And if that's what his focus is, if that's what they brought him in for, then I think that's tremendous news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the other bit, you had mentioned to me about Eddie Kingston and Bully Ray. What was that all about?
Yeah, Eddie Kingston cut a promo. Let me see if I can find some of it. He cut a promo after AEW on Saturday where he said that the other channel doesn't care about their fans. The talent on the other channel doesn't have their heart in it. Just going on and on about how AEW is better than WWE in every way, and that but he was specifically attacking the wrestlers. Like, he wasn't saying the company. He wasn't saying Vince. He was saying the the talent, the locker room is what he kept saying. I thought it was a cheap pop. The crowd didn't even get that hyped up about it. They was kind of like golf clapping and saying yay, and I felt like all he was doing, if I'm being honest, was just trying to get a cheap reaction out of the fans in the building, just assuming that was the fan base that's there, or people who hate WWE. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like a good Eddie Kingston promo even to me. It felt mediocre at best. And, I mean, shout out to Sam Roberts. He talked about it today on his Patreon podcast, where he said that he said a lot more nicer things than I'm saying now. But he had said that if he hadn't said the things he said about the other company, we wouldn't still be talking about it. And I think him and I have completely different views on that concept, because he said that as a net positive. Good thing he said that, because we're still talking about it. Where I felt like it was such a mediocre promo that's the only thing people are talking about in the promo. No one's talking about Eddie being fired up. No one's talking about Eddie talking from the heart. Everyone's talking about Eddie said this about WWE. And so to me, it was almost a waste and mediocre Eddie promo leading into Bully Ray. And I will say that in defense of all of that, it was off air. It was just to the crowd in the audience, and a fan cam released it, so it wasn't even on TV, which I think is also a good thing. If he's going to say that, for sure, say it that way. Bully Ray said that he needs to, quote, shut the fuck up and stay in his lane. He said that he would understand a Jericho or a Miro or even a Big Show or Mark Henry saying something about the company, but Eddie Kingston's never worked for that company and was also never even offered the chance to be a part of that locker room. So for him to talk specifically about the locker room, Bully says is kind of out of his zone, and that he had no right to say that. I don't know how I feel about that. I get it. It makes sense. I just felt like it was a cheap pop thing. I felt like that was no different than Mick Foley going out there and being like, right here in Philadelphia, just to hear the crowd go, yay, you're in Philly. Or, even Elias just saying something about a basketball team from that city he's in. It's just a cheap reaction from the local crowd, and that's what I thought that he was doing, just a cheap reaction, which to me was more telling of how they view their fans than anything else. I didn't feel like this was like a from-the-heart promo. This felt like, oh, you know what? Our fans hate WWE. I'm going to go out there and talk a little bit of shit about WWE and get a pop. To me, it was kind of like, oh, that's unfortunate. That's how you, for one, you view your fans, and for two, that was the whole context of your promo. Like, it's just, meh. I felt very meh about it. But that's basically all of my thoughts about it entirely. So, Amanda, take it away. You said you had some thoughts about it yourself?
Yeah, well, yeah, he shouldn't have, gone there. I'll agree with that one thing of Bully Ray. But then I think it's also very ironic that the guy, Bully Ray, told my friend Josh to be a fan at a Ring of Honor event, right? And, whatever. I'm like, dude, he was being a fan. So I'm sorry that, your old lady, Velvet Sky, can't take, people razzing her. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. I mean, I've been to shows before with my friend Josh, and I've seen a lot of things. My personal favorite was when Marty can't stand him. My personal favorite is when Marty threw Flash Morgan Webster at him and Josh got a concussion. And I said, that's what you get. That's what you get. So it was the most hilarious thing ever. Not that people get concussion, but it's like there's consequences sometimes. So Bully Ray injured my knee at Ring of Honor when the last Ring of Honor I saw in Las Vegas. Didn't apologize to me. He just didn't I'm just back here being a fan. And then all of a sudden I had somebody thrown really hard into the guardrail, and the guardrail snapped, hit me right in the knee. It was bad. I mean, it was that bad that one of the wrestlers who was out there, Philip Gordon, he saw it and he was like, what the fuck? So he came out and asked me, are you okay? Because that was brutal. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it hurts. I'm like, there's a huge bruise and it was swelling and it was hard to walk. I don't know.
What does it have to do with Eddie Kingston?
Oh, it doesn't. But anyways, it's just AEW Bully Ray. But Eddie Kingston, I don't know. I mean, I think he's kind of lost without Mox. And it's showing.
Yeah, I think he became really watered down at some point. I think that whole thing with the exploding ring, I think I don't think he's been able to recover from that. I think he cut a promo that he thought was going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I think that shook him in a way. I mean, he'll never admit it, and he shouldn't ever admit it, you know. But I don't. He has not been the same since that moment.
No.
And this was another thing where it's just all like, oh, okay, like it feels like he's begging the fans to get behind him again because he realizes how fucked up that all was, and he took the brunt of it. You know what I mean? Like he's just asking for forgiveness and cheap pops at this point. It doesn't feel the same. Doesn't feel. So I mean, as far as Kingston promos go, it was like C-. You know, like you do better all the time. You would do better in a diner than with that. Like it was just okay. You know what I mean? Anyone could have said it. The fact that it was Eddie didn't make a difference here. So
yeah.
But yeah, you nothing else to say about that?
No.
Yeah, me neither. It was
go into what you saw on AEW on Saturday.
Yeah, we can get into that. Right before we do, though, one last thing for the news. Jeremy Stevens in the chat, he says, did you see Bea Priestley signed with NXT UK? There was another name I saw signed with it. Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
I also saw that she signed with NXT UK. We talked about that briefly last week because it happened live while we were on the air, which was pretty cool. But what do you think about that and Jamie Hayter? I think it's kind of cool to have him over there. I'm excited to see what they do there. That women's division over there is killer.
Yeah, and it's not. I like it. Producer lady here. You know, I'm a really big NXT UK fan, and I like just the fact that you see all the women. It's not like you see the same woman every week. You know, there's not just one or two faces of the women's division. There's variety there, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, there's a big spectrum of the talent over there, and you see them a lot. So, what do you think, Amanda?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, as an avid watcher of NXT UK, do you think the Bea Priestley signing is an indication that maybe her boyfriend, or whatever you want to call him, oh look, funny, I'm eating ocean spray. Anyways, do you think that he's gonna sign with NXT UK? Because there's a lot of chatter still saying that he's faking his neck injury.
I have no idea because I don't follow her personal life. Like, I kind of checked out of all the Twitter stuff about her. You know, I like what I saw on TV, and that was her even in AEW. I liked her. I became a fan. I want to see more of her, and you know, just to see more of someone on screen that I'm interested in. Like, I'm down, and I can only hope that, you know, if some of the rumors are true about how she is backstage, you know, I hope that gets resolved. I can only imagine that NXT UK has really turned it around from the Me Too movement. I remember they got rid of a lot of people who were problems. You know, so I think they do take a lot of that seriously, which is awesome. So I can only imagine that they, you know, would only accept people who are mature and, you know, doing things the right way, I hope. So that's all I got. I really, though, don't know much about her boyfriend. I don't know the relationship. I don't know any of that. So I'm one of the most casual viewers, per se. And, you know, I kind of like that in a sense because I don't get caught up in all that. I just kind of watch what I'm watching in front of me, and if I like it, cool. If it's not, then I just, you know, turn it off.
I wish I could go back to that. Those were the simple days.
It's because I haven't been watching for decades like you guys.
Yeah, we get so caught up. We've been watching for so long that we're just like, we got to know more. And I think part of it, when I really think about it, I think what really tore it all down is I think that Conrad and Bruce Pritchard's podcast really had people going like, yeah, but listen to these stories the guy's telling about what happened backstage back then. You know what I mean? And then it just got everyone hungry for more because of the nostalgia behind the knowing how you felt at the time, what you believed in at the time, you know, how much of it was real to you at the time, and then hearing stuff that's happening backstage, you're like, I gotta know that. Imagine knowing that. And it got so popularized to the point the WWE's leaning into it with all of their documentaries and stuff. Well, I mean, Rise and Fall of ECW is a good example, and that was before Conrad, but all that stuff became so popular. Matter of fact, that DVD set, Rise and Fall of ECW, was so popular, they created ECW within WWE. That only happened because of how popular the documentary was. It's gotten to the point where we want to know that stuff now. We don't want to wait 10 years anymore to find out what happened. We just want to be in it already. And I think that spoils it for a lot of us in a lot of ways. So,
Thanks, Grim Reaper, for coming in through the chat. We got a bunch of people coming through.
We do. Kiro says his joke is complete. I finally finished putting posters of The Rock on my ceiling so I can officially tell people, yes, I do live under a rock.
Nice.
I'm going to block him.
Nice.
I'll block him right now.
Like Patrick Starfish.
Just
That's the
in
only person I
time.
know living under a rock.
Just in time says he'd be completely shocked if Ospreay went to NXT UK. And I'll tell you, I think I'm really 50-50. I think I don't see him fitting in NXT UK because
The ego?
his ego, I mean, just watching his matches, I've never been blown away by him. And I get why people are. I have no problem with someone saying that Ospreys are their favorite wrestler. I go, oh, okay, I get it. I know what kind of wrestling you like. It's never been my thing. And realistically, when I watch NXT UK, it's a lot more hard hitting than the stuff he does. There's a couple tag teams that kind of flip around more than others.
But not many.
But not a lot. I'd say the tag team division is where he would fit in the best, and he doesn't have a tag team partner. But the singles in there, they're brutal, man. They're brutal and hard hitting, and he is a soft-handed paintbrush, if you ask me.
Yeah, I feel like NXT UK is like brawlers.
Yeah.
They're big dudes, like no knee pads. You know, they just go. I mean, that's what I like about it.
Which
Maybe I just want to see Walter slap him around. I don't know.
that'd be really good. But I will say that there's something to be said for him having such a different style than what they have. It might be a refreshing difference within the division, and sometimes opposites attract in that way. Maybe two completely different styles could be potentially very, very fitting in that regard. So, I mean, I could see it, I guess, but for a degree, I don't know, man. I do think that I remember watching Ricochet and Ospreay matches and being blown away by Ricochet and being like, that other guy's trying to be like this guy. I really felt like Ocean Spray was a secondary one. So that's why it made me laugh when Seth said it. I was like, well, but we'll see.
Oh, speaking of Ricochet, did you see that spot he did with John Morrison?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was
Such a good shot.
amazing. And you know what kills me is that people were so more into, oh, well, I don't understand why everybody is praising this, because Ricochet is a friend of bad people. And I'm like, come on. I'm like, seriously, like,
Yeah, more stuff I didn't see. I just really don't stay on wrestling Twitter too much.
I mean, I see this and I'm like, you guys are ruining this like great thing, because I don't think I've ever seen, or I don't even know if Ricochet and John, insert your name, when he was on the Indies, actually wrestled each other.
They did on Lucha Underground, I think once or
Oh,
twice.
but that's different. That's not Ricochet. That's not supposed to be Ricochet.
That's true. That
You're
was Puma.
freaking breaking the wall.
Yeah.
God, you're such a millennial wrestling fan.
You probably think Generico and Sami Zayn are the same person, idiot.
Mm-hmm. No,
I do love-
Sami Zayn's different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I love about him is that they are so inherently different, and I love that both Sammy and Kevin Owens still protect the El Generico character so much. There's this little video they put out. I've talked about it once before. I'll just bring it up real quick, and then we'll hit the chat. They did a thing where Kevin Owens and I can't remember who he went with. I want to say it was like Cedric Alexander, or it was another guy from PWG, and they went to the old Reseda building, the original one, and he was talking about his matches with El Generico, and he was talking about how he missed El Generico and stuff. And later on, he was talking about Sammy. And in the same conversation, he referred to Sammy and El Generico in different ways. And also, like, it is amazing that he's having a heartfelt moment and still protecting the kayfabe that is El Generico. I fucking loved it.
There's a few wrestlers who still protect that. Cole Gavan is one of them.
Yeah. I love it.
I know he was a big one of that because I took one time. I'm like, have you seen El Generico? How's he doing in Mexico with the kids? I'm curious.
Ole.
Ole.
Grim Reaper has a question for producer lady. He says, I might have missed this on episode 1, but what do you think about Piper Niven's name change on Raw? I think he's talking about Dewdrop.
I am loving the story because I just love when NXT UK folks get the attention on the main roster, and it kind of, to me in my mind, it makes me think that people are thinking, oh wow, NXT UK, they're pretty, this is good stuff. Let me check out NXT UK. So I'm just happy to see people that I like, get these great stories. And of course I love seeing Naomi, so I love the interaction that she gets to have with Naomi. I'm really into it. I know that a lot of people don't love the storyline because of Eva Marie, and I'm willing to let it go because I'm a casual viewer. I don't have the backstory, never watched old Eva Marie, so I don't care. I like what I'm seeing now, and I've always been a really big Piper Niven fan. She's on social media, she's a really positive person. She's really funny, and I think it really shines through. So I'm excited to see her. That's all I got.
And on that same note, I mean, the best thing about the Dewdrop story is the whole story is about Dewdrop. You know what I mean? Like, Eva Marie is secondary in that story. She is there to highlight Piper. And the whole thing is about how good and dominant is Piper. None of it is about Eva. Eva's just there to get you to boo her and cheer Piper more. So how great is it? She not only did she show up from NXT UK after not being televised for almost a year on NXT UK, but she's front and center in a prominent storyline about her. Yeah. And it's working.
Yeah. And I personally, I just love seeing women that don't look all the same. So for me, I just love seeing, oh, yay, someone that isn't, the same size 0, as other women, or like, I just like seeing diversity. I like seeing different sizes. I like seeing women that can actually go, and not just someone that, oh, you're supposed to be the face. You're just here because you're, this type. So I love that she can really go in the ring, and people are really getting behind her. People are pissed at Eva Marie and they're saying Piper deserves more. I can't believe this. And I'm thinking, man, you guys are just totally playing into this, and this is awesome for her. And I cannot wait to see Eva Marie versus Piper, because how much people are even going to be just even more behind her. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, they're going to blow the roof off the place. I'm telling you. Once it's finally Eva and Piper. And what I can't wait for Eva to win the first match by cheating.
And I have, okay, this is a stretch. I'll be real quick though. I have a theory that, or maybe a fantasy that, this is why Becky comes back to back up Piper, because she just keeps getting screwed by Eva, and you can't get away from the man. What are you gonna do? So I would love that.
Good thought call. I like that.
Yeah, could very well be. She can come back and have a program with Eva Marie. Justin Time does say he remembers when Marty was going to reveal Ricochet as Prince Puma at a PWG show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a good story.
No, yeah. Was I there? I'm trying to think. Was I there for that one? No, I don't think I was there for that one. But he tried.
Well, let's talk AEW. AEW. So we'll talk a little bit about Saturday and Friday and Wednesday. So on Saturday, I tried to watch the show. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it because that dude was going to come on, and I was like, I'm gonna check it out. And I was like, plus this is the one that's going to have Hobbs and Paige, and I know Amanda said it was dope. So I'm excited. It's a good way to open the show. I opened the show, watched Hangman versus Powerhouse Hobbs. It was pretty fucking solid. I mean, there was little things here and there. But overall, I think it was easy to forgive a lot of the weirdness that was going on. I think that it was crazy that Paige slipped when he was grabbing onto Hobbs and busted his own head open on the back of the ground or some shit. I was like, what the fuck did he hit? I think he might have hit the steps or something. But the way that Paige knocked himself silly on there, I was like, fuck, that was... For one, it was an awkward spot. It's not like when Beth Phoenix got pushed backwards by Bianca and hit her head on the post and you see it and you're just like, fuck, she got hit. Dude slipped and fell out of screen. Like, just woo! And then comes back bloody and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? It was like the back of his head.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
So it was just a weird shot, and it was a weird spot. Like, you almost, in those cases, if you're going to get busted open the, quote, hard way, you almost wish it happened in a spot that at least looks good. So you can just be like, ooh, what a tough son of a bitch. But this one's like, did he slip and hurt himself? That's kind of what happened. So it was a little funny there, but it was a cool visual. Had a great visual there with his hair just turning more and more red.
Justin said he hit the ring post charging at Hobbs in the corner.
No, he didn't. Watch it. No, he didn't.
We need a gif of this.
Yeah. They're out there. I'll find it. Go look. He did not. He was trying to make you think that's what was going to happen. And if he cut himself in the back of the head when he ran forward into the post, then that's also just goofy. He hit his head when he fell backwards because he was trying to pull on Hobbs and his hand slipped off of Hobbs. And I really like that Hobbs did not sell it. He didn't then just hit himself forward. He just kind of leaned forward for a second and then was kind of like, okay, that was weird, and then wiped his hands off. But yeah, he was trying to make it look he was hitting his head against the post, but then he fell backwards, and if he cut himself in the back of the head for that, that is bizarre. Yeah. But then again, it was a really good match. They both looked really good for the most part. That power spine buster thing when he caught up Paige from the buckshot, when he catches him and spine busts him, that was fucking sick. The timing on that was so good, so clean. I like the match. What was it? Hobbs lost though, right? Because they're trying to push Paige on this one.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay, because you know what? My thing about it is, because I know Will. I was really excited. Okay, I was crying because it was just so good. I was just emotional because I'm a woman. But I will say that when he's getting matches like these against people who are, I don't want to say the word elite, but but it's just amazing to me that, to see this. And like every time I see him with one of these upper echelon people, it's getting better and better and better. And that's one takeaway that I've noticed with Will Hobbs. So, because if you see some YouTube
he's
stuff,
hard to deny. He's so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's real clean in there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What else happened?
I don't know. You clicked a bunch of that.
Then what did you watch next?
So what happened after that, it was really good. I liked it. And then the Young Bucks had a promo. I got about 33 seconds or so into this promo, and I turned off the TV and put on a different show.
Yeah, as a casual viewer, I have the same reaction as when I watch Gargano. The acting is just so terrible for me that I can't watch.
I mean, I feel like Gargano is the Young Bucks of NXT, but there's so much good in NXT that when Gargano comes on, it's really easy to say, okay, I'll go to the bathroom and come back. Yeah. Dynamite has chased me away so many times that when I get to a Young Buck promo, it doesn't feel worth it to see whatever comes next, to see, is something else going to become good? It's like, well, this is so bad that I just don't even want to give it a try. I'd rather spend my time doing something else. So I turned it off and didn't watch. Yeah,
it's junior high humor to me, and I'm not interested in that because I'm an adult.
It was also a super heavily scripted promo, which I thought was ironic for a place that talks about not being scripted. But it was clearly scripted because their lines were going back and forth. They needed that guy to interrupt at the right time and say the right word for their next line. It was just, and it came off super scripted and super rehearsed and really not funny. And again, the Young Bucks are a mockery of wrestling fandom, not a celebration in any way. They talk to the fans like it's one thing to talk down to the fans because you're trying to say you're smarter than them. It's another thing to talk down to the fans because you think it's stupid that they like wrestling, that they like your show. And that's the impression I get from them. They think liking wrestling is stupid, and what they're doing is a joke, making fun of wrestling in general. Not themselves, not old things necessarily, but wrestling as a whole, they seem to be mocking in the fandom of, and I just don't like that feeling, and so I stopped watching, and that's what happened there.
Like, ha, nerds.
Yeah, it's almost like they're laughing, being like, oh my God, you like this stuff? We do this because like it's the easiest way to get paid and not care. I can't believe you like it and pay for it. Like, you're stupid. Like, that's the impression I get from their promos. Jeremy in the chat does say the Young Bucks are insufferably cringe. Look, and I also get that they're heels and they're trying to get you to boo them and try to get you to see them lose, and I get all that stuff. When people want to say that they're not getting worked by the Eva Marie and Piper Niven segments, but continue to watch through it and watch everything that happens after, you are getting worked because you're still there. Go Away Heat is, to me, Young Bucks are the definition of go away heat for me personally.
Yeah,
I don't know about other people, probably not.
Because I physically go away.
Yeah,
I
leave.
physically walk out of the room.
I leave. I have not bought tickets to shows I could have gone to. I turn off the TV after they're on it because I can't stand what's happening anymore and I don't want any part of it. That isn't wrestling heat. That's that insufferably cringe thing, I suppose. And that's, to me, that's true go away heat if you're actually turning it off. And I respect anybody who says that WWE product has go away heat for them, that they'll turn on the thing and it gets to the point where they have to turn it off. Cool. We have a difference of taste. To me, the Young Bucks are that level for me where, honestly, I tried to watch Friday or Wednesday as well. It opened up with the Young Bucks, and they came out with their new mustaches and dyed hair, their absolutely stupid way of dressing, and I just, again, went, okay, I'm not doing this, and I turned it off. I didn't even watch 5 minutes of the show. They didn't even get to the ring. They were still on the ramp, and I was like, I'm not watching this shit. That's what I got.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't come back. I did not come back.
Did you like it, Amanda?
But, Amanda,
Well,
you flip through, you fast forward, you curate AEW to your own taste, which is probably the smartest way to enjoy it.
I do.
And I love,
it. Yes.
I do love that. So tell me, what did you love about AEW this week?
Well, first of all, obviously, the Hobbs match I was excited about.
So good.
There was a lot of fast forwarding in this one, and me finding things to watch first. But one of the things that, the Bucks right now, I'm like, God, it's so obnoxious. I don't know what's more obnoxious, the Bucks or the bunny with Butcher and the Blade. I don't know why. There's something irritating about her.
Real quick, let's circle back. At the end of the Hobbs match, Ricky Starks came out looking adorable as ever, had the FTW title in hand.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How did I forget this?
Fucking hands it off to Hook, I think, or did Brian Cage get it back?
He kisses it
Brian
and
Cage
he hands it to Hobbs.
He tries to hand it to Hobbs. Brian Cage comes running out, rips it away from Starks, and chases Starks away, who starts running away in just solid physical comedy. Like the way he's holding his hands going, but my neck, and slipping on his own little slippers and running off.
No, those Gucci damn slides. I swear to God, they're no.
Gucci slides. And the way that Brian Cage was just methodically charging at him without like running or exerting himself, I thought the pairing was, I don't want to say Ren and Stimpy, but it's kind of that two stupid dogs thing where the one's yippy and all over the place and the other one is kind of methodical in movement. It's a tremendous pairing. So now we have coming up, and I think that maybe this is mixed in with everything else, but we do end up having Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage for the FTW title coming up. What do you think about all that?
I'm now wondering with the neck injury.
Yeah.
It was probably not as severe as it was made to seem, because it's been only almost 2 months, maybe.
I hope.
Oh.
Because they have a history of letting people wrestle injured. And here's something else, and we'll get right back to it. Jericho said in an interview recently, or not an interview, his drunken Instagram videos that he does. He does. He gets drunk on, I think, Saturday nights and goes live on Instagram and just, like, talks to people in there as he's getting drunker and drunker. It's, hey, I can't complain. It's our gimmick. Literally what we do twice a week.
Yeah, but we're having fun. We're not just...
He's probably having fun.
Okay.
I don't think he remembers.
So, I'm not knocking him for that, but I am saying it wasn't an official interview. But in there, he talked about how dangerous he felt that fall was off the top of the cage of blood and guts, and how people who were shitting on it don't know. He said he was going to blackball Shotzi Blackheart for talking shit about it. He said people in WWE, he said the girls in WWE who, or chicks, he called them chicks, who were taking shots on him online. He goes, I won't forget that in 6 months when they come looking for a job. And you're like, great. It's nice to know you're so mature from a company that takes the shots that they take. So the other thing is he was trying to talk about how dangerous it was and how it was actually bad and actually terrifying. And he's basically begging people to believe it's dangerous. There's a huge part of me after hearing that whole thing that makes me think the entire injury angle with his elbow was a complete lie to just get people to shut up about how obviously stupid and phony the fall was, which is what it is. We've already talked about that enough. It was a goofy mattress fall, and he's trying to say it wasn't. I think that the elbow was fake, and I think that's why he was able to wrestle in Stadium Stampede with the weird thing on his elbow, because they knew full well it wasn't a real injury, and they were just doing it to try to get people to stop talking about how terrible the fall was. They said, well, what if we tell them I actually got hurt doing it? Maybe they'll believe it didn't look stupid. You can't go back and say it doesn't look stupid. It looks stupid, move on. It's fine. We can just pretend it didn't happen in a sense. But with that in mind, if it wasn't a work, then that means he actually wrestled injured, which means that if Starks got hurt and his neck isn't as bad as they thought, they might still let him wrestle injured if he's able to say, oh, look, I can move my neck around and I believe I can wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So,
and I'm like, for me, I've not asked, I want to, but I'm like, dude, he's never had a serious injury that I know of, but, I mean, he has throughout the years, his lower back is trashed and, lower to mid back, but I mean, that's wear and tear. But I think to come back, I think because it's in Austin and he lives in Austin. Yeah. I personally think, maybe New Orleans, because that's where you're from and that's where you're built from. You're not built from Austin. I mean, yeah, you come there and you were like one of the, that was a huge thing. I mean, him and ACH were like the kings of fucking Austin. So, I don't know. Now, this is going to be a very interesting thing, which I'm going to ask you you guys' opinion on it. But so this is going to come to a head now. We're actually defending this FTW funky title a year and a half, whatever later, for the first time. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this will be one of those two is going to leave Team Taz? And if so, who do you think is going to leave?
I don't know. I mean, I think that they need to do something with this FTW title because it went from being this kind of almost legendary thing from back in the day to being an absolutely worthless prop. Yeah. And it became kind of a joke on Cage so far because he has lost the majority of his matches, especially all the important ones, especially all the ones right after getting that title, that it immediately became a joke of he's the toughest SOB in the business, so he has the FTW title and he just can't win a goddamn match. No. And Taz throws in the towel on the same week that he gives him that title saying he's the toughest guy in the business. So it's kind of like, well, it became a joke. So I don't know that there's any reason to continue this FTW title story except for, like you said, to actually break up the team. But it also feels like it's actually breaking up already. The fact that Taz, from what I recall, and tell me if I misinterpreted the promo altogether or just don't remember it correct at all, he was behind Brian Cage on this one, was he not? Or is he behind Ricky?
You know, it's very hard to say, to be quite honest, because um, it seems like he's more Brian. But
Right? That's what I felt.
yeah, and then sometimes when you watch, well, you don't watch the internet wrestling, I do, because that's
true.
AEW Starks, by the way. Um, it's completely different. So it just makes me wonder, like, well, what, I don't get it. Like, what's up with this? So, I mean, I don't know. Now, I think if anybody does break away, I think the one that ends up breaking away, well, there's two thoughts I have. Well, obviously there's two people, there are two different thoughts. If Brian Cage wins the belt, Ricky's out of there. He's out of there. I don't need this shit. It's going to be some big diva kind of moment. And that's why I want to be in Austin. I want to go to Austin so bad because I know that'll be fucking great. And I'll be one of those people. I would be one of those people in the front row, those reactionary WWE people that are totally famous. I'd probably be one of those because of the facial gestures. I mean, but that's one way I see it. The other way, obviously, is if Ricky wins the belt, I think Brian Cage is better off. They're actually both better off, but I think Brian Cage will get more out of leaving Team Taz than Ricky would.
I was going to say that's where I feel like. I feel like Brian Cage needs to break away. I feel like Team Taz holds him back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not to discount anyone in Team Taz. It's a collection of all incredible talent. There is no necessarily weak link in Team Taz.
No.
But I don't think that they are working as a team as it is. And I don't mean like on screen. I just mean like I don't see anybody getting further along. But I think that Brian Cage, if he breaks away on his own, can start doing a lot of singles things. He can start being forced to use the mic more. Mm-hmm. He can grow.
Yeah.
I think that Ricky is a smaller guy. And I think that the company is really dead set in the directions they're going with their titles. I think that Ricky and Hobbs as a tag team that does singles as well, especially if Ricky's a FTW title holder and he's willing to do more and more things to prove he's the toughest SOB, it could really shine people could get behind Hobbs and Starks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or I think people
knowing Ricky.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, I want to do my solo thing. I've done tag team. I'm like, I want to do that. But sometimes it's like, well, you can't always get what you want. Yeah. Same with you in millennial people. I'm bragging on you guys hardcore today. But I think that at the end of the day, because him and Hobbs have good chemistry. They do. Yes. And I don't know. But Brian Cage is better off without. And he needs to do his own thing. It'd be because one of the matches I'd love to see is Andrade and Cage. I don't know why, but I want to see that. Sure. I'm not going to get to see that if he's with Team Taz, But yeah, but right. God bless Tiny Suits, and we'll see what happens. If I can find cheap airfare to Austin, then I will be there. Probably not. I will fake a work. Actually, I have sick time, so I will use sick time. I'm sick. I haven't seen wrestling. I haven't seen wrestling in a while. I haven't seen my friend. Yeah.
Yeah. The only cure is wrestling.
Oh yeah, and tiny suits, but he's not going to be in a tiny suit. So. Just in
time does say Bunny has been doing a lot of things very similar to Paige lately. Like when she screams and skips around. Oh, like Paige, not Adam Page, but Paige.
Yeah, Paige
from WWE. That's cool. I haven't noticed. I mean, I haven't been watching Bunny, but
no, Jeremy says Bunny,
which could also be a Paige callback, anyways. Bunny says how much of AEW wrestlers are doing stuff based off of other wrestlers every week, anyways. I mean, look at Britt Baker. She rips off stuff from people all the time and just, quote, makes it her own. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bunny was just a big fan of Paige and was like, oh, I'll do the skip like Paige because she can anyways. So Jeremy says Bunny must have scrambled brains after Chris Statlander dropped her on her head. Oh yeah, that crazy tombstone. She must think she's being entertaining. That's funny. Well, go ahead. Anything else happen in AEW that you really enjoyed?
Can we talk Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega? Because we all know. Okay, I knew anybody, unless you're just out there and a really casual viewer, never seen this shit before. We all knew Kenny Omega was going to win. Oh,
yeah.
But that match, holy shit. I have not seen anybody wrestle Omega like that in a long time. This is like New Japan Kenny. That's what the vibes and the feel was for me. And when I, was sitting there and I'm like, there's other people that he's wrestled and gone toe to toe with, but you didn't see this kind of stuff. It felt like, okay, things weren't a challenge. This almost was. And it was incredible just to think that kid's the future of wrestling. There is no doubt in my mind. But when I think of the whole thing, I'm like, Kenny hasn't had the challenge with anybody. No. Have we seen New Japan type matches? No. Nowhere near. It's jokey crap. Just like the Young Bucks. And Kenny Omega, sorry to say people, but a lot of that shit too. I usually will fast forward, but this was the end of the show. So I was like, well, I want to see Jungle Boy. And it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be a lot of no selling on Kenny Omega's part, which I didn't think there really was any with it. So it was some good stuff.
All right. Yeah, it's really good. I know a lot of people, big Kenny fans, have said that we haven't had the Kenny of old. So the idea that we
Retro
got that
Kenny.
on Saturday. Yeah.
Retro Kenny. I would love to see Jungle Boy Omega 2. I will say I think it was probably more exciting than maybe the Okada matches, but I think with Okada, he works really slow and he's methodical. So that's why I think that Okada irritates me because of that fact. But the only other things from AEW that I think are of note, I thought, and I don't like, well, Sammy Guevara is he's kind of winning me over a little bit because that match with him and MJF was pretty damn good, especially because I think it was both give and take. And you see, there's obviously behind the curtain, it's almost like, there's a little bit dislike of the two of them and they're going to be competitive with each other. And I think that it was great. I love what they're doing with Ethan Page, not liking what they're doing with Sting and Darby. Father-son is getting old. Same with the Snow. That's all I'll say about that.
He dragged him out in a coffin, right?
Yeah. And then Darby just jumps up and I'm like, how dumb was that? I know you're going to do a coffin match, but come on. Really? Come on. Are we stupid? I just was like, wow. Okay. Yeah. And the Snow, I think it's stupid because now that you have a lot of people there, they get really excited about the Snow, but they're not using the Snow doesn't look as impactful as when there was nobody there. Oh. I'll be honest. Don't waste the money, AEW. Or maybe for Tony, this is just shit in the bucket. So I don't know.
It could be.
But,
could be.
It could
was
be.
Anything on Wednesdays that you liked? Jungle Boy became the first AEW wrestler to reach 50 wins. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah. That match was good. Like I said. The only other thing of note that I did want to bring up, and hold on here because I've been drinking, and so I can't remember the when the match was that I'm trying to refer to right now. Okay. So on Wednesday, it only happened just yesterday. One of the things that, the Bucks turned you off, but yeah, it was nice to see Penta and Eddie win. So we'll see if that continues to go that way. Where was it? It was, or was this on? Okay. Jungle Boy had there was a real bad spot with Jack Evans.
Yeah.
And speaking of injuries, and I'm like, dude, sloppy. It's like, this was another show that it's like, oh man, who's going to get injured? Like, as I thought that Jungle Boy was like out for the count at one point because he just totally, was kind of out. I think next week we get to see Andrade wrestle, I think Matt Sydal. Yeah, Matt Sydal. That'll be interesting. Came out looking like John Travolta or Al Pacino in Scarface. It was kind of cool. I dug it. I dug that. The Dark Order and Kenny was kind of cool. I don't know. Colt Cabana had some kind of stare down at one point. So that was kind of exciting to me to see because I'd love for them to use him a little bit more. But he is an excellent trios person with him and Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. I will say that. And Pillman, Miro, it's okay. I mean, no big deal. I mean, I really like Pillman with Griff Garrison. So Varsity Blondes works a little bit more. And then the ladies. Oh, God. I don't know where to start with this. I'll say I didn't think it was very good. And I feel bad. So Rebel, cheers to you. I hope you recover soon because I know what it's like to dislocate a kneecap and it is not good. It's not fun. And it wasn't even on a stupid, it wasn't even on any like move or anything. She was trying to just, break the pin and yeah.
Her knee just gave way.
Yeah, it just kind of gave way. And I feel for her because hasn't she been injured a bunch of times?
Yeah, I feel like part of the joke of her being with the crutches for so long was that she got injured like twice, and so like we'll just run her with crutches for a while. Yeah. But yeah, she's
yeah. And honestly, I can't. Yeah, we can't comment. I can't comment on like what her wrestling is like because to be honest, I don't even think I even have ever seen her wrestle. I've just only seen her in like her little policeman looking hat. This is Rebel on it and in her ring gear. But yeah, so if any of you have seen Rebel, can you tell me and Marsh if it was good or bad? Because we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why Vicky Guerrero was booked to wrestle a match.
Oh God, Lord bless Vicky Guerrero, but no, don't.
Just didn't seem to. I didn't understand it. I don't understand why she's in there when you got a bunch of actual wrestlers who are needing TV time, and you gave a match to Vicky, and I just didn't get it. But you said the main event was good, MJF and Sammy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, Sammy this is the first time, and I'll say this, and, you guys can show him this clip or the audio, the video, whatever you want to do, is he actually didn't wrestle sloppy. It was very precise and controlled, which is one of the reasons why I didn't like him or don't like him. Oh, I said didn't. Yeah, he's warming up to me. So a little shit, but, whatever. But it was great. And MJF, I think, he's really, if he's not like one of the best heels out there right now, I don't know who is.
Eva Marie's a better heel than MJF.
You think so?
100%.
I don't know.
Not even ironically. MJF doesn't get actual heat. MJF is beloved by all the fans. Everyone cheers him, and then he goes, I don't like you guys. And we go, oh, yeah, that's right. Boo. Eva Marie has the entire internet on fucking fire every time she says or does anything because of how much they hate her. MJF doesn't have any actual heat. And it's obvious. And I think the people who fucked it up were all his fucking friends. The Conrads, Tonys, the Tazes, everyone who would go on, even Sam Roberts, who would go on their own podcast and be like, yeah, he's a total asshole. And then would have him as a guest on the show. I mean, I hate the guy, but he does really good work. Oh, but he's a real asshole in real life. You guys tried so fucking hard that it screwed the story. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he goes out there and he just says like street jokes, street jabs, mama's so fat stuff. And you're like, okay, real deep digs, guy.
He did cut a good promo, though, that they showed on Dynamite. I'll give him
Yeah, I'm
that.
not putting Sean Spears on the show. Yeah.
No, I'll give him that. But that's all. That's all, folk. If you want to see Andrade next week.
Yep.
And I encourage you, Marsh, to get your take on that because you watched the other product and see, you know, give some
I've seen the clips of him do his stuff on AEW so far, and I'm not impressed. I think
he hasn't wrestled yet.
I'm saying his promos, where people are
I
like,
know,
"Oh, look at it! If
'cause he
only
has
he
a
could do this."
mouthpiece.
Yeah. I don't think he has. I still don't think he has any character. Jeremy says Nyla's diving knee drop on Britt, draped over the ropes, didn't look good at all. And Justin says, I've seen matches from Rebel before, and they're not really all that. So,
There we go.
yeah. I mean, Andrade's a great wrestler. It's all the other stuff that I think he doesn't do a very good job on, and I think that so far that's what we've seen. I don't think that his promos have been all that in AEW, and I do think that his match will be fantastic because he's really good at wrestling, but that was never the problem. You know what I mean? He never got over the fans because he didn't know how to get over the fans. And the only reason he's semi-over in AEW is because he left WWE. That's it.
Yeah.
Not because of anything he said at all.
Yeah. No. But there was a really cute picture when he was in his suit. I guess Charlotte was there. And she's wearing something very similar. A little short, like, suit dress and had a hat on. It was kind of cute. So.
Oh, they look good together. They do.
And then Jungle Boy, I'm Jungle Boy and Anna from the Dark Order. Can you guys stop? Okay. Don't be haters. Okay. Don't be haters. You know.
On the fans to stop.
How weird his dad was Luke fucking Perry, a fucking heartthrob. Okay. When I met Luke Perry, I was so nervous. And it was at a wrestling show. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. When I told Jungle Boy the story, he laughed. He said, oh my God. He said, you did it at PWG, right? And I said, yeah. And he says, my dad was talking about it. He says, man, he says, some of your fans, he said, I didn't realize that some of your fans were like 90210 fangirls. Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, that was that was great for me. So yeah, leave it alone. Okay. You know, like, you don't see me sitting here getting all bent out of shape that I don't know, like, I'm not going to, like Ricky, if Ricky's got something, but I'm not going to tell. But because that's not my business, I'm going to sit there and be jealous. People tried to say that, you know, I get that way about Marty Scurll. No. Yeah. He's with somebody, you know, no. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
No,
it was just weird that the fans kind of went off on them because they were. I also thought it was a really weird way for them to announce that they were together, to just literally post a picture of them kissing while he's squeezing her ass. I was like, okay.
Those who can do.
Interesting maneuver.
Those who can do.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay. But yeah, there was a crazy, weird, negative reaction to that. And I was all like, guys, it's fine. We want to know all the shit backstage, right? That's the whole deal. We have to be too smart for the business, right? That's the idea, that we're all insiders. And then you find out that there's a couple, and now you fucking shoot back. Fuck off.
No.
Bishop says Charlotte should wear that on AEW. I agree. She can go. Justin says, so much for that big surprise Andrade had, all that to announce he was wrestling, which we knew would happen sooner or later. Yeah, I saw a lot of people being like, oh, here it is. Here's where Zelina comes in. And then I saw right when the show went live, Zelina was on her Instagram doing like Ask Me Anything. And I was like, she's either working everybody and making it look like she's at home when she's really backstage, or she's got nothing to do with this show. And then, he's all like, here's this huge surprise. I'm going to wrestle. And everyone went, ooh.
I want to see her old man. Tommy End.
I want to see what he
Give
does.
it to me. I've been waiting. Patiently.
But yeah, I think it's that for that. I think we move on to NXT, yeah? NXT. Yeah, you do. Let's see. It's the week before NXT Great American Bash. Don't forget to get your Great American sale at ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingOnTheRocks. Promo code USA for 20% off all of our badass shirts. Let's see. The show opened up with the number one contender tag match. It was Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez versus Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon versus Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. Zoe. What did you think of this? Honestly, when I watched it, I felt like the big star in it was Zoe. I felt like that she was moving the most fluid, the most naturally. I feel like a lot of the people who are in this match typically over choreograph their things, and so it becomes a little slowed down. I feel like even though everyone in here is a fantastic wrestler, there's been matches with everybody in there who I feel like, okay, this is just a little bit paint by numbers, a little too over choreographed. This is a little bit slow. This is a little bit choppy. Like, and I don't mean slow as in slow paced. I mean slow as in someone starts to punch slowly so the other person can duck it before they get there, and it doesn't look realistic. You know what I mean? Like they're literally moving slow so the other person can catch their arm in a way that you go, oh, no one punches that slow.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the star of this match was Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it just
Overall,
kind of
it was
looked
decent.
I don't know. It's like it looked I don't know why I got this impression, but somehow I got this impression like Kel Gonzalez really didn't want to be there for some reason. I don't know why. I just got that vibe. But it Shotzi was better than normal. But yeah, it's really about Zoe Stark at this point in time. So I do like her with Io. So again, I can't wait till they do their rematch.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to build something with these two, and then that's going to happen. Either they're going to get the title or they're not. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I want it to, but I don't know. I don't think it will. I'd like to, but yeah. I don't write this shit.
I don't know. Yeah. I think I would like Io and Zoe as a tag team with championship gold. But I definitely get why they would keep it on Candice and Indy for a while, especially since they haven't done shit with it.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to
those titles
throw
can flip around.
Gargano down our throats.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like at least let me have his wife, because it makes that crap better.
Well, yeah, Gargano attacked Karrion Kross on his way to the ring, and then Kross goes out to the ring anyways. Cuts a promo talking about Johnny Gargano. Gargano comes out, is super serious for the first time in a long time, and I wasn't buying into it. And then Austin Theory jumps Kross from behind, and then Kross beats the shit out of both of them, which I thought was pretty good. And then Samoa Joe comes out there with his people, and they pull everybody apart and all that. But
Of course.
at no point did Karrion Kross, at any point in time in this entire show, look like anything less than someone who could beat the shit out of everybody in the way at one time. And I love that part.
Yeah.
But I'm not buying into Gargano at all. And Gargano hits... Like, it's hard for me to even say that he hits. His strikes are so soft. He barely connects. And I know that the idea is, like, you're not supposed to actually hurt these people. But there's also a difference of, like, when you're swinging fast and then you slow way down right before you hit somebody, as opposed to being able to actually have the control to stop your hand in that moment of connection that doesn't hurt, that guys like Ric Flair mastered. He just looks so fucking phony in everything that he does. I just can't get behind him at all. And the idea that I think that there's a very real possibility that Gargano takes the title off Kross and Kross moves up, I think is terrible. But I like the stuff that Kross is saying, and I do think that the more that these little indie guys try to talk shit on Karrion Kross, like he's boring and not actually good, when he's like dominant and beating guys like Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor in brutal matches. And then you have guys like Cole and Gargano go on to have like the softest hitting street fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. No.
It's like, I just can't get behind these fucking NXT darlings. These little middle school kids who tell jokes like they're even younger than middle schoolers.
It's funny because Karrion Kross, I don't understand why there's such hate, because if you're one of these indie people who saw Kross at promotions like Maverick Pro and PCW Ultra and some other ones, he was beating the shit and great there as well.
Yeah.
In all these places. I mean, there's a match with him and Hammerstone that I was like, Jesus Christ, that was brutal. And it was a banger. Him and Cross versus Jacob Fatu. That, again, another one. Incredible. And the guy's worked hard to get where he is. Absolutely. I mean, the guy, you know, great guy. And, you know, but damn, like that's a talent that needs a bigger audience. So if they do it now, it's too soon, I think, for him. Because it's not going to go over well. But give it like 6 months, maybe a little bit more. Then I think it would be just like perfect. Or
I did like the parking lot shit where Gargano jumps. Well, Austin Theory tries to jump carrying Cross throws Austin Theory into the fucking building. And then Gargano jumps on Cross and tries to like beat him down. And as he walks away, Cross just like comes up meaner than ever and starts choking him out. And what did he say? He said some sort of smart ass, or I think that's what he said. I think he called him a smart ass. See what you get when you try to be a smart ass. And then he's, what? Yeah, you think you're funny? Tell your jokes now, Johnny. Where are all your jokes now?
Mm-hmm.
I was all like, I like this.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed Cross beating the shit out of Johnny and talking shit while he's choking him out. And then the idea of like he was going to run him over and Samoa Joe just like pulls him up out of the street. Yeah. And then Samoa Joe drags Johnny and Austin back into the building. He's like, get up. You know, like.
That made me
like
laugh.
They were
I was on the floor when I saw that.
So good.
I was laughing so hard.
Samoa Joe turns everything that Johnny Gargano was trying to ruin back around.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is your reaction to the Young Bucks is very similar to me and Gargano and Austin Theory.
Too.
The pair of them together.
Yeah.
Even solo. I'm like, oh, no. But
yeah. They got no business together. And typically when Gargano and Austin Theory come on TV, I'll turn the volume all the way down and go to the kitchen and find something to eat. Or I'll go to the bathroom and then come back. The reason I don't turn off NXT is because I know that everything else that's happening outside of the Gargano's story is something that's really good and something I enjoy.
oh yeah.
With AEW, I don't have that assurance on the other side. You know what I mean?
It depends on who, though, to be quite honest.
Well, that's what I mean. There could be something on the other side that I might like. There could be something on the other side that I hate even worse than this. You could have Kenny Omega on the other side. And I'm like, what am I putting myself through? Like,
Well,
I don't have that assurance knowing that once it's over, it's over. Plus, the Young Bucks come in and out all the time.
Kenny.
It's the reason I turn it off. And so does Kenny.
No. Yeah. So I think, like, if you look at some of the other things that's going about, Matt Hardy's stuff is starting to get slightly obnoxious, but, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know why Cody and QT Marshall are still going at it. I mean, give us something new. Okay. The only things that are fresh and new for me are the Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and then Team Taz.
Mm-hmm.
And then Janela and his weird thing with Sunny Kiss. Yeah. It's kind of sad. Weird and
But
sad.
I agree with you about Gargano. Gargano to me is the Young Bucks of NXT, and when it comes
Oh, yeah.
on, I will walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that whatever's after it is something I'm probably going to like.
Mm-hmm.
This week there was an exception because after this was the Diamond Mine.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I don't get
I
it.
feel like we talked about it a little bit, but what do you think about the Diamond Mine at this point? So they came out last week, beat up Kushida. This week Roderick Strong has a match against Asher Hale. And to be honest, Asher Hale looked pretty good in here because Strong felt like he was having a real tough time with this jobber that we've never seen.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand the point of the Diamond Mine. You've got 4 dudes. Only one of them I really know the name of. One dude I've only seen with Malcolm Bivens a little bit. Bivens hasn't said a goddamn word since it's all started. What?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he screamed at the camera at the end.
Oh.
He said, "We're the Diamond Mine." I don't understand the point of this. And if the whole thing is built around the fact that Roderick Strong is so good, I'm just not buying into that. That's an elevated thing to be. Like, he was part of Undisputed Era, and he was the other guy in Undisputed Era. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand why I'm supposed to be behind this group. I don't. We haven't seen the other guys wrestle. The only person we've ever seen wrestle is Roderick Strong, and he's the one who wrestled this week. You'd think that Roderick Strong would be in the corner of one of the other guys to prove how dominant they are, and all he did was come back to say, look, I'm back here to wrestle, and I'm having a real tough go of it. This guy I've never seen is really fucking tough. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like this is a whole thing you could have put. Either Rust could have been in a match because we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Or the third guy. I don't even know the third guy's name.
Yeah, I don't know the third guy either.
You could have had Malcolm Bivens cut a promo, put the third guy in the match, and have Strong and Rust on the outside being like, this is what we're talking about, and have that dude just completely destroy this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't walk away from this feeling like the Diamond Mine's a faction to be reckoned with. I felt like this is just a group of fucking people who found matching jumpsuits, tracksuits, or whatever they are.
No. To me, Diamond Mine is almost like, okay, Roddy could not make it on the main roster. Sorry, yep. Sad to say. But, you know, what do we do with him? Again, 6 year senior syndrome. And I think that was the way to kind of do it. Now, is it a smart way to do that? No, because you're not getting anything out of anybody else right now. And I don't think we will. And if we do, that would shock me. Because I have a feeling it would be like, because I see, you know, I don't know why I see this, but I see more of like the Way and Diamond Mine kind of, you know, how boring that would be. But that's what I'm kind of, that vibe I'm feeling is that's where that's going to go.
But at least the Way had a story leading into it. Johnny Gargano was saying, we're going to do things the Gargano way, and things are going to be different. We're going to change the way we do things. It's not going to go your way anymore. It's going the Gargano way. This is the way. And then his crew becomes the Way, and you understand what the deal is. The deal is that they've all looked to Gargano for some form of leadership and guidance on how to get shit done. Apparently, they also took joke class lessons from him. And he handed them all his Drew Carey 101 Jokes book that he keeps in the bathroom. But you said it right before Justin typed it out, too. He said this whole faction could be interesting, but it just feels like it was formed for Roddy to do something. Jeremy says, I think Roderick Strong isn't good in the spotlight. He's better as a sideman. When he's on his own or as the main focus, he just doesn't have anything going for him other than him being a great wrestler. I feel like there was there was a real short period of time where that wasn't true, but it was just a blip. I want to say it was him and Bobby Roode had a rivalry for a period of time in NXT, and it was Roddy, and they showed a bunch of like segments with him and his wife before she was signed with NXT. He was talking about his kid. He was talking about how much wrestling means to him. They were driving around his old hometown. He was talking about what it meant to him to do this and how he was thinking maybe it's time to wrap it all up. Maybe I'm too old for this after all. And then he had this great rivalry with Bobby Roode, if I remember correctly. And I remember thinking Roderick Strong could be the guy. But then after Roode moved on, it was kind of like, no, never mind. And then he just became some random guy. He was some dude who joined AOP for no reason. He joined Undisputed Era for no reason. Like you said, they don't know what the fuck to do with him now, and they don't think the main roster wants him. So like, well, I guess we give him a new group because we've already split up Undisputed Era. Like, it feels really built around the idea. But it also, they haven't told us. What does Diamond Mine mean? Why are they all in this group? What does Malcolm Bivens has to do with any of this? We've had like 4 weeks of video commercials, 2 weeks of them on screen, and not one single sentence on what the Diamond Mine means, what they're about, what they stand for, or why they're even together.
We had better fantasy booking here.
Yeah, we booked the Diamond Mine dope before they actually got on screen. So I don't know. That's not to say that these talents aren't good talents. I like Roderick Strong in the ring. I actually liked those promos he was cutting back in the day. Malcolm Bivens is incredibly talented. But also Malcolm Bivens is batting 0. Everything he's done in NXT has been a failure. As much as everyone goes, oh, Malcolm Bivens is involved, that's all I need to know. Why? Because of stuff he did before he got to NXT. So far in NXT, he's doing nothing good. He's done nothing successful. It's not a knock on Malcolm Bivens. He's incredibly talented, incredibly funny. His Twitter is hysterical. He just hasn't done anything successful in NXT yet, and I don't know why he's involved here. Is he the mastermind? Maybe give him a fucking microphone and let him tell me that, you know? Justin says, it feels like they're trying to play off when Balor told him he could never be a leader, he'd always be a follower, but it's just very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Justin, you just gave me way more story than NXT has, because I had forgotten about that entirely. And wouldn't it have been great if fucking Roderick Strong said that this week? Or if Malcolm Bivens said he heard that. Said, I heard you, Finn, when you said that, and I see something in Roderick that none of you see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or Roderick really saying, oh, really, Balor? Fucking tell me that. I don't remember that. Show a clip of it.
Mm-hmm.
Have Roderick Strong come out and say, hey, you guys probably wonder why we're together. You guys are probably trying to figure out why all these guys are behind me. You guys probably don't even remember this, but I hear it in my mind every single day. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I heard it. Play the tape. And then they play the fucking thing with Balor. It said, Balor, we're coming for you. Fuck, I don't know. Anything to make me give a shit?
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
I think with
Sorry.
Roddy at this point, because I think they haven't really done anything, I would not be shocked within the next 2 cuts if he's not on there.
Okay, relax with that. We're not fantasy booking firings.
Well,
But
you know,
I will
that's the
say-
feeling I get. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not, I mean, that's just, yeah, it's a big feeling, you know?
yeah,
And
no, I mean, I
that's
hear you
it.
on that. But I also do think at this point the releases have nothing to do with what we're seeing on screen or what we've seen in the past. It's just, it's
Oh,
something
yeah.
else. So, but yeah, his name wouldn't be one that I go, I don't understand how this happened. I would say, okay, this guy's going to do amazing things outside of here. I hope he bought that house. You know what I mean? But as we move on, we had Cameron Grimes coming out. Cameron Grimes came out and he had a match with Ari Sterling. Let's see. Grimes beat the shit out of him in pretty quick fashion.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah.
And then LA Knight comes out and starts taunting Grimes. The crowd booing Knight so hard. I can't tell if I hate the crowd or love that the crowd, I believe, is all being worked. I think they're booing LA Knight because they've all been worked. And I think they think they're smarter. And they think that NXT is shoving LA Knight down their throats and expecting them to cheer, and they just won't do it. And I think they caught on to that real quick, and that's why LA Knight's been a heel this whole time, and I don't think they get that, if I'm being honest. But I fucking love this back and forth between LA Knight and Grimes. I loved Grimes saying LA Knight stuff. I like when they just started saying yeah back and forth at each other.
Yeah,
It felt like that
that was
woo
the
battle
best.
back in the day. Yeah. Remember the woo battle with Ric Flair and TNA? It was like, woo, woo, woo. That's what it felt like, where they're both like, yeah, 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 yeah. So fucking good.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah. But I love this whole segment. And now they have a match coming up on Great American Bash where if Cameron Grimes wins, he gets the $1 million belt. If he loses, he has to become LA Knight's butler. Here's the thing. At first, I was like, Cameron Grimes needs to get that $1 million belt. He's earned it. He needs it. LA Knight can move on anyways. He's a big enough star. He'll be fine on the main roster. But the idea of imagining Cameron Grimes as a butler has me really wanting him to lose. I'm being honest.
Well,
What do you
didn't
think about it?
AEW do this?
Yeah, but they didn't do it as well as this will be.
Well, I know, because those two are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever.
What do you think of the segment?
I don't know. I just feel, yeah, I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait. I mean, I love seeing those two like just bicker, and you know, you can't go wrong with, that fighting. That was great.
Their promos back and forth were so good. Their LA Knight's promos with Cameron Grimes, as much as I've been saying I like Cameron Grimes, I've always thought of LA Knight being on like a different atmosphere than these other guys in promos.
Mm-hmm.
The way they go back and forth, I go, oh shit, Cameron Grimes has got it, man. Like he's a high level promo.
Oh, like I told you, you got to go watch some of his PWG mic work. Holy shit! You want to talk about heat? Holy God! And people really getting worked. He's amazing. That's why one of the reasons why Cameron Grimes is just great, and his character, this character that he's developed. Oh my God, fantastic! I can be behind this. You know what I mean?
Did Grimes and Knight ever touch on the indies that you know about?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think at Impact.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because they've
friends.
They have crazy chemistry, and it's all
yeah,
like...
no, they're friends, and I think it was Impact because that's the only time I've ever seen the two, but I've never on an indie show seen both of them, because honestly, the only indie shows I've ever seen Cameron Grimes, has been on at PWG or like one or two like WrestleCon shows, and that was it.
And Knight never went to any of those?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Just curious. In the chat, Takes is asking how far in the bucket I need to go to grab Ice Cube. There's only like 3 cubes in there, dude. I got to go to the bottom. And Justin says, I hope Ari Sterling is part of the breakout tournament. They did announce a breakout tournament this week, and I actually am really excited for that. We didn't get one last year for the reasons that, we didn't get anything last year. But he would be a great addition to that. I'm curious. I really want to see the bracket when it comes out. I really do, because I think it's going to be dope. I really do. Do you remember who won the breakout tournament last year or the 2 years ago? So I don't remember. Someone look it up.
I don't know. But I will say that I think one of the people that'll probably be, well, two, I think definitely it probably should be on it is Ari Sterling, obviously. And then the other one, I just know his name. Yeah. The guy that's heart, that's all heart. Why am I blanking on his name?
That's all heart?
Yeah. The short redheaded guy. The tiny redheaded guy.
Oh, yeah. Like Alex Zane or something like that?
No, Alex Zane is Ari Sterling.
Mika's in the chat and said Jordan Miles ACH.
One 2 years ago? Okay. I know who you're talking about.
ACH.
Blake, it's not Blake Christian. It was the guy who went up against Kushida.
Yeah, Blake Christian. Yeah, but I don't know what his NXT
Trey Baxter. Trey Baxter is what Justin's saying. ACH
Those
did when he was Jordan
definitely.
Miles. Jordan Miles won the last one. Okay, everyone knows but me. Okay, everybody calm down. I get it.
I didn't know.
In the chat, Mika was asking, did we talk about the picture of Vince at a Chappelle stand-up show?
No, but we can. Did you see it? Did you see it, Amanda?
No.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Vince McMahon was at a Chappelle show stand-up, and he was backstage. He was shaking the hand with somebody else. I forget the guy's name, but I saw him. As soon as I saw him, I recognized him. I was like, oh, I know that guy. Let me see if I can find the picture. But it was really funny. He looked drunk as fuck. Here it is. Oh, man, I don't want to use this link. I hate this fucking website, but here we are. Let me see if I can find
I can't see
tweet
it.
to send you. I know.
No.
I'm going to
send it to me.
to forward it to you.
Yeah.
Here it is. I'm going to use a really shitty website to get it to you, so.
That's okay. I just want to see drunk Vince with Chappelle.
He looked. Well, he's not with Chappelle. He's with somebody else there.
Jeremy.
Okay.
So while you're looking at that, Jeremy's in the chat and said there's 2 breakout tournaments qualifying matches on 205 Live. Micah says, out of touch, old man, quote unquote. And TW Takes coming through. Only other documented one-on-one.
Yeah, Drake versus Trevor Lee, Impact Explosion. Man, if they only had one match in 2018 and we got this level of chemistry together, because I could watch these guys wrestle for the next 6 months. And I'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way he changes it up. He doesn't say it the same every time, and I just think that's just such an actor thing, to say something different 20 times and see how it works. He's so good at it. He just does.
Yeah.
He does it so flawlessly every single time he does that. It's just
amazing.
cool.
I sent you a tweet of the Vince being drunk. He looked drunk to me. I sent it to you too. Let's see. But yeah, that's kind of crazy if they've only wrestled one other time.
People can't see you guys? Oh, I know. I can't. I just
people listening on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they saw the picture of Vince and a comedian backstage at the Dave Chappelle show, and it's hysterical. I don't know. He just looks drunk to me. But he's also having a good time. And Micah brings up a good point. He says, in quotes, out of touch old man. Can you imagine that too? If he's all like, I want to go see that Dave Chappelle everyone talks about.
Oh, God, how come I know that man?
That's what I mean. The guy's so familiar. I just can't place the name. Comedian Donald Rawlings. That's who he's with.
Okay.
But he's in a bunch of stuff if you look him up.
Yeah,
Rawlings.
He's a very familiar person.
It's fucking funny, man. And good for Vince. Taking a little time for himself. Go enjoy a nice little comedy show. Can you imagine if you were, because I was in New York, went to a ton of comedy shows. Can you imagine being at the comedy show and just turning over and being like Vince McMahon sitting there? Good shit, Chappelle.
It's like, I would be, holy fuck. Vince really does think that Black Lives Matter.
Do you think he calls him Chappelle? Because he calls everyone pal.
Yeah.
God, that's so cringy.
Good shit,
I know
Chappelle.
it's cringy. But look how drunk he is in the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Mika's saying he's Chappelle's friend, goes on Rogan with Dave.
Yeah. I think he was on the Chappelle show too. He's been
Yeah,
a long time.
I think he was too.
I think he was in the Haters Ball. I think he was the main guy. Let's see. WWE Creative in chat says, maybe that's Bruce Pritchard because he comes through a lot. He goes, hey, I heard that NXT UK had a particular debut tease for a big star. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier in this show. It was Bea Priestley. Also, Jamie Hayter seems to be coming on board. We're all excited for all of that, I think.
Yeah, and producer lady here, I'm a big NXT UK fan, so woo.
Yeah, and Bishop says, are you talking about Vince with Donald Rawlings when Vince looks like Dennis Quaid? Yeah, he does look kind of Dennis Quaid. He's got that little bit of a Dennis Quaid hair. The hair being a little bit matted, that's what makes me think he's drunk, that he's like wiping his head and bringing his hair down. Take says he played Ashley Larry. Yeah, dude's hysterical. Justin says, I wonder who NXT is teasing with the battery charging. All I keep seeing is people thinking it's Tegan Nox. I've seen a few people think it's a few people. Yeah. I've seen Kona Reeves come up because he's come and go a couple times. I've seen Tegan Nox come up as a concept. God, what was the other one I saw just the other day? And I was like, oh, I could see that. But my favorite part is everybody that everyone is guessing, they all say the same thing. Well, obviously, it's this person. It all starts with obviously. And I was like, obviously, it's 7 different people.
Obviously?
Kuro doesn't start it. Kuro starts it, I have a guess.
Yep, Kuro has a guess. I think Tegan Nox would be the most compelling out of all the guesses I've heard so far. And I think it could work if she changed up her story a little bit. Kuro thinks it's going to be Bo Dallas.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I believe it.
No, that's too much of a stretch.
I mean, it'd be awesome,
Now,
but I don't think so.
I think it'd be
I'll
great
throw
if it's
this
Matt
out
Cardona.
there into the ether.
What's up?
That would be a funny way to introduce Marty Skrull, but not like that other thing. But
that would be funny.
I digress.
If this is Tessa, that'd be so funny.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it would have to do with the character, and that's what it comes down to for me. For Tegan, I could see it making sense because of her spaceman thing she's got going on. For some reason, I think it could work with it. But at the same time, they do these vignettes, and then it has jack shit to do with the person when they show up. Diamond Mine has nothing to do with what we've seen.
That was
Ember
nothing.
Moon,
Yeah.
it was nothing.
We got
The Ember
worked.
Moon stuff. Remember Ember Moon with the motorcycle? And then she comes out, walks out in a motorcycle helmet, takes off her helmet, and goes, ah! And then that's it. Nothing similar ever again. And then she goes, plus I'm best friends with Shotzi. And you go, that fucking none of that ties in. So I do think that the battery thing is likely not going to tie in the second that they are arrived. Obviously, CM Punk would be great, and he can come over and become the new leader of Diamond Mine. They already have the CM Punk fists.
He'll take over the way. I don't know. He's like, let me show you the way, bitch.
100%. 100%.
No.
Let's see. Who else
Speaking of
was,
CM Punk, I'm glad people are over the fact that he's not gonna wrestle anymore.
Yeah, he shouldn't. He's not good at it.
Hey,
What?
you're
There's
Fucking,
only
I
one.
dare someone to tell me one wrestling match that he was incredible in and believably watch it objectively. The Money in the Bank match with him and John Cena. John Cena carried that match.
No, he did not.
Yes, he fucking
No.
did. Rewatch it.
Oh, I like
CM
this
Punk
argument.
keeps jumping out of fucking frame. He keeps being in the wrong place, and John Cena keeps having to overcorrect for what CM Punk is doing. He saved Punk's life 4 times in that match. Punk is nearly about to land on his head, and Cena has to slide in and save his ass.
You can't see, but Amanda's over here rolling her eyes at you.
Well,
Yeah,
because
like-
she's
Yeah.
yeah. Rewatch it. Whip out
will
Peacock
rewatch
and
it.
find it.
I will rewatch it. Okay.
I'll rewatch
Yes.
it tomorrow too, and
I'll
I'll
be
fucking write
objective.
notes. I'll be like
You know
at
what?
1823.
Yeah, if you want to, you and me do a little impromptu little thing discussion about.
I
that
feel
match.
like this
Yeah.
is not a discussion. Y'all are about ready to take out some boxing gloves.
Yeah, this is it. We're the new Diamond Mine.
We're the new Diamond Mine.
We're diamond bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And producer
telling
lady, you're our Malcolm Bivens.
Because I
please.
watched that match. Yeah. Because someone told me, they're like, oh, if you want to see CM Punk's greatest match, watch him and Cena. And I was like, okay, cool. At the end of the match, because I wanted to see good CM Punk matches. So I was like, I just don't get it because these promos are obviously just as scripted as all the other promos. Like,
Well-
the pipe bomb the pipe bomb is like the biggest Mark promo of all time. Everyone who's all like, oh, look it. He said things that Vince McMahon didn't want him to say. The fuck out of here. Like, he did say what Vince wanted him to say. But
If you want to see CM Punk's greatest match ever, it does not come from WWE.
that's probably true.
ROH.
Which means that he was burnout by the time he even got to WWE, which is my point. He shouldn't be wrestling.
Yeah. Because one of my favorite matches is the last match he had at ROH versus
Yeah.
Cabana. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, that could be good.
But now they don't
Yeah,
like
'cause
each
they
other,
have
so you
chemistry.
know that's the one match I want. Okay,
I'll watch
if
that one.
CM
Yeah.
Punk wrestles again, it needs to be against Colt Cabana, no holds barred, no DQ, no nothing. It's got it because I just want to see them beat the shit out of each other,
Unsanctioned.
unsanctioned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I watched that Punk match because I was told it was great. And as I watched it, I was like, God damn, Cena's so good. Like,
You know, people don't give Cena his due. People hate Cena, but I like John Cena.
That's because they're
Not gonna lie.
jealous.
he's good. He's good.
He
And I
got
think
good
it's a
booty,
good,
too,
it's a
so
good
you
Cena
know,
match.
hey.
And I think that the story for Cena and Punk is a great story. But Punk wasn't the highlight reel there.
You missed
No.
Amanda's eyes were getting all crazy because she's thinking about Cena's booty.
Oh, yeah, he's got a good butt.
Oh yeah. Now, if you were to
Squats.
ask me him or guy behind me,
Yeah.
well, if
Well, we didn't.
if Cena were rocking the Echo jorts many moons ago,
Yep.
that was the best. That was the best part. His best ass work, if you want
Yeah,
to call
you
it
see
that.
the top.
But I don't know. See, I've never seen it, so I don't know. See, Ricky used to have a spot where they'd pull his trunks down and you'd see it in its glory. And I will say, whoo, he's got a nice booty.
All right.
And I
Anybody know of a
accidentally
Cena
once-
movie where his butt is out? Let us know.
Wait, wasn't there
Wait,
that one where
I thought he did with
he
Amy
was a
Schumer.
parent and they were doing
Yeah.
the beer?
That's right. He had
Yeah.
the beer bong up his butt. Yeah, blockers. I think he might have shown his butt in the Amy Schumer movie.
Yeah, the Amy
So-
Schumer. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Anybody listening, Miss Amanda Jane on Twitter with a Y. She's DMs open. Send her any shots you got of Cena's booty so she can get down to the bottom of this and figure out who's got the best butt.
Yeah, but right, I will say now I've touched both booties. I will say.
What?
Wait, have you ever heard my John Cena story?
I want it. What's the story? What happened?
I know this is like way off topic, but you
It's
know,
not.
okay, so I went to a Raw probably, I'd say, God, it was a long time ago, probably maybe 20. Well, he was wearing the Echo jorts, but it was like probably maybe 2008, maybe before that. I don't know, can't remember. But I was front row at Raw, facing hard cam. I wish I can remember the date because I'd go back and see. But I know it was not on camera.
Yeah.
So he landed like right in front of me. And you know, the natural thing that most people do when they land in front of you is you get up and you look over the rail.
Yeah.
I did. And I was like, whoa, like, hey, there's a booty there. And
Yeah.
me have been to a wrestling event since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And I don't know what possessed me because the way he got up, his butt was like just sticking out in my face. And you know, I'm short and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, what are you supposed to do? Yeah.
So here was me.
Amanda just leaned in for those
Yeah.
who aren't watching.
Here was me. My hands came up and I don't know what possessed me, but I grabbed 2 hands full. Okay. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that because he turned his head and I'm
Maybe
like, oh my
you weren't.
God. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Hold on, wait, the light. I hate this office. So I was like, oh my God, he's gonna like
have you thrown
slap
out.
me
Yeah.
or something, or like, don't fucking do that or whatever. He winked. and the dudes
like,
next
I know.
to me were like, you're not supposed to do that. And I go, well, I did, and didn't seem to mind, I guess.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
here we are.
and here we are. And then of course I touched the Ricky's booty, but I'm not telling you how and why because that's none of your business.
Okay, it's a different story. I like the
Yeah.
idea of someone being like, "You're not supposed to do that." And you're like, and I like the idea of just being hindsight is 20/20. You know?
Yeah. You got to
Emphasis
take your
on the
opportunities.
hindsight.
You only live once, you know. But I will say,
YOLO.
between then and now, his butt has deflated a little. I hate that. You know, it's not as curvy because that one looked like he shoved the globe in his pants. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, he used to have to deadlift Big Show. He doesn't have to anymore. Things are different.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
But
get
if you
back to the
naturally
chat.
Have good booty. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's there.
Mhm. And I will
let's
rank
see.
if you want me to like. This could be a new segment, you know, offshoot. If you want me to rank booties, get my opinion.
Yep. A qualified source.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Kiro does say his serious guest for the vignette, though, is Parker Boudoir, which I think is a big possibility. Jeremy does say Punk vs. Taker at Mania was pretty good. I think it was pretty decent. I think a lot of that was story, and I think a lot of that was Taker. I think Punk isn't the reason these matches are great. He's the reason why it didn't become bad. He shows up and does the right stuff. I think he adds a little bit, but I think the stuff is carried typically by the other person. So, let's see. Everyone's agreeing with Kuro that Parker would be cool. I think it'd be cool. Kuro said he was cleared from injury when the vignette started. Parker wasn't wrestling before, so I don't know how you can be out with injury if you're not in to begin with. So I'm not sure.
You know, at the PC.
What if the battery is Cena? Justin says, I'm not afraid to admit it. I'll mark for Cena. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Oh my God, Dr. Thugonomics came back. I was sold. I was on the floor. It was like, oh my God. Yeah, I fangirled hard.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I'm not gonna
Cena's
lie.
so good.
I fangirled hard.
Tate
And please
says
don't
he's learning
spoil
a lot.
Fast 9 for me. I have not gotten a chance to go see it. Please.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite franchises, so I'm excited.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So.
That's really cool, actually. Take says he's learning a lot about Amanda. Says works both ways. Story time with Amanda. Let's go. By Justin. Kuro says don't grab Cena's butt, and he goes, wait. How did you even see Cena's butt to grab it? She just told you how she saw it.
Yeah.
He landed on the outside, butt up.
Butt up in
grabbing
the face.
distance.
You stand up, you look, and you're like,
face down, ass up. That's the way she grabbed Cena's butt. Let's see.
That claw.
Yeah, the claw.
Oh boy.
I don't think that's what Bronson's trying to do with the claw.
Maybe. Justin says we've learned that if Amanda's flustered, it's either over Ricky and his tiny suits or John Cena's butt, and that's possibly true. She's flustered.
There's other things too.
There's other things that we'll get to those things down the line. Stay tuned. Kira says he was going to debut from the PC and he injured his ankle. Oh. I mean, I guess I don't know anything about that. I mean, he's been doing really well online, and I think that the biggest hurdle Parker's going to have to get over is how popular he's become online and how much hype he's built for himself. And he's either going to run with that and soar, or it's going to be the thing that causes him to fall flat on his face. And I hope for the former, but I do worry about that because there's so much hype behind him that he's created that sometimes I go, I don't know, sometimes it's better to under promise and over deliver than to say, guys, you better buckle up and then get something we weren't hoping for. So
well, the kid is definitely an athlete, so there's something to be said for that too.
Absolutely. Let's see, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole faced off before the bash. They had a promo back and forth, which I didn't really give too many shits about. My favorite part of this whole thing was Joe coming out, moderating the whole thing. Adam Cole looking like a crying little bitch as he grabbed for Joe and said, Joe, please help me.
I was laughing so hard.
And Joe just shrugs him off and walks away. And like halfway up the ramp, he's all like, fuck it, go save him. And the whole time, Adam Cole just, Joe, please. Tough guy Adam Cole, Bay. Putting the Bay in Bay. Amanda, what'd you think about this whole little segment?
God. Okay, I don't know what I don't know why this incarnation of Kyle O'Reilly really irritates me, but it does. Adam Cole's just kind of funky. I got a Mean Girls vibe with the whole, like, the one line, I was on the floor. Kyle, you're obsessed with me. Oh, yeah. It kind of creeps me out a little bit. I was like, that's Mean Girls. And I'm like, what the I'm like, oh no, Adam Cole, go away. So Joe was hilarious, just moderating the thing. Am I interested in seeing O'Reilly Cole too? No.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all. There's not even part of me that's sort of interested and thinks that it might even be an okay match. I have zero interest in watching Adam Cole face Kyle O'Reilly.
I feel like he is just the NXT crowd fan favorite, but I couldn't imagine him on the main roster or elsewhere.
Yeah.
No.
I really feel
the
like
place where he shined was ROH because it was smaller, and at the time the competitors were, they're not like big beefy Bronson Reed. I mean, you have the bouncers and whatever. No, actually no, Malonis wasn't there. No, but you got Beer City Bruiser and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he'd do very well. He'd probably be doing better if he's with his old lady over at AEW. Yeah, I said it, probably, because they've got smaller guys too. So
I do think that's true. I do really want Adam Cole to be called up to the main roster so I could watch him get the shit kicked out of him and get buried. I would love that.
Oh, Lord.
I want to see him get speared by Roman immediately and then never seen again. And then eventually be just released so he can go to AEW. Not because I want him to lose his job. I think he'd do better in AEW anyways. So, not that he's doing poorly in NXT. I mean, let's be honest. He's their golden boy. So who knows? Who knows? We did end up with Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez against Xia Li and Boa. And this match ended in referee stoppage because Xia Li kicked the absolute shit out of Mercedes Martinez and knocked the soul right out of her.
She is such a badass.
It was crazy. As we watched it, I was like, holy shit, Xia Li killed Martinez.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure it out because I was like, no, maybe that's her spot or whatever, I guess. And Marsha's over here like, no, Xia Li is just that exact.
Yeah, and the problem is Xia Li trains as an MMA fighter all the time, and they don't exactly teach you in martial arts how to hold back. They teach you how to kill. And if she was in a match that was going on for a bit, and if she's the least bit gassed, then maybe you're off by a little bit. Maybe Martinez leaned in just a little bit. It was really hard to tell who was or wasn't supposed to be exactly where they were because her kicks looked good to begin with.
Yeah.
And that was just right on the button. Immediately, Martinez became a willow tree, branches out, falls down like timber.
Yeah, that was fast.
Xia rolls her up the best she can, but she's brittle and stiff, that she's in rigor mortis already. And I was like, fucking Christ. She tries to kick out, but her arm just comes over like there's a stick in it. And I was all like, fuck. And then the referee just went, wait a second. I guess you sort of got your shoulder up, but you're also kind of almost dead.
Yeah.
And Xia Li, poor Xia Li, it was so brutal. And then they're replaying it so much. I was like, look, she's just knocking her clean out. And producer goes, but why would they replay it if it was a real injury? And I was like, because it looks fucking good. Like, it's already too late. You can't go back. It happened.
Yeah.
And you have 6 camera angles of it happening. Play it, because you're also booking Xia Li to be the strongest kicker in the fucking business, and you just got a clean shot of her kicking someone so hard they lost consciousness. Play the shit out of it. And then you apologize later. Look, hey, sorry. But it was fucking dope looking. Xia Li, I felt so bad for her. Did you see she was crying? Amanda? Did you hang
That
out?
was, oh, good Lord. That, I don't know. There was something about that match. When I saw her, when she kicked Mercedes, I was like, oh, fuck. Wow. Okay.
Like, goddamn.
And I had a moment where I'm like, is she dead? Like, I had to, like,
Yeah.
I was watching on an iPad. So I brought my iPad really close to my face and was like, is she dead? Like, what?
Yep.
Is she breathing? What's going on?
Yep. I
Yeah.
thought the same thing. We were replaying it just before we went on tonight, and
Yeah.
she fell so quickly.
Yeah. It was like, I don't know if I had, I don't, well, no, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. But in UFC, when you see a true knockout, that's what happens. Your body goes into shock, it gets stiff, and it just falls.
Down.
And
Yeah.
that's what happened. And it was like, fuck.
Yeah, that looked like, you know how sometimes people put on like Instagram and Facebook videos of someone clocking someone and they just fall down and you wouldn't think that that person could have that kind of power. Yeah, that's what that was for me. And I'm like, whoa.
Did you notice that Xia Li was crying?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
When she's up in Aja ref, which good on Aja, Aja Smith, the ref, she stopped the match because her concern were the competitors. And I do think that there's a mentality in the WWE that the refs are there to protect the talent, right? The refs are there to push the integrity of the actual combat sports that we're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's exclusive to AEW, but I am saying the mentality is in AEW, and it's also across the board. I see it split
Indies.
in the indie scene. I even did an interview with Jimmy Carderas where we sort of talked about it a little bit. There is a belief that a lot of refs have on the indie scene who get into it saying, don't fool yourself. You're just a character in the show. You have no right to end this match for any reason. I've seen refs tell other refs that as advice. But at the end of the day, the ref is looking at things differently than the competitors, and the ref has the power to stop the match. That's granted to them by the company that they're in, whatever company that is. It's up to you to make those judgment calls sometimes. And sometimes you say, yeah, sorry, guys, your match didn't end the way you wanted it to, but thank God everyone's okay, right? Like,
yeah. I can't imagine Martinez continuing.
Right. And I do feel like if this has happened somewhere else, the match would have continued. She would have been dragged off to the side. She would have just been pulled off to the side, and the match would have kept going. But Aja cut the match. Said forget it. And as Aja's talking to Xia Li and going back, you can see Xia Li looking down. She's trying to look tough and she's trying to look mean, and you can see her chin kind of quivering. By the time it cuts back after the replays to her at the top of the ramp with Tian Sha, you can see her makeup running down. She was devastated that happened, and I felt so bad for Xia Li.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you don't go into it actually hoping that, you know,
Accidents happen.
that's going to happen to someone, because also you don't want to hurt someone that bad. And what we know about concussions now is not great.
yeah, you don't want to be the person who ended Martina's career before it even really got. I mean, not before it got started, because she's been doing this a long time, but never on this level. You don't want to be the one to stall that. So I get it. I get it why she felt bad. But at the same time, that did look fucking cool. And Xia Li's a goddamn badass. And Justin even says, I really hope this is all leading to a women's championship run for Xia Li. I do too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for Xia Li. I feel bad for Mercedes. You know, cheers to them and their well-being and all that. Amanda, anything you want to say about it?
Yeah.
Got anything else, Amanda?
No.
How good was that fucking kick?
Yeah, that was like, and I really do think that Karen Q is what's her bucket?
Tian Sha, or
Tian
what do they call her? Mei Ying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, just when looking at the body, I was like, not the body. Oh my God, that was so horrible. When you were looking at her body, the body. When you were looking at her body, when the three of them were, when she stood up, you can kind of tell that. Yeah. That's kind of like her little figure.
Yeah, I believe so too. I like it. We even talked about it before. Xia Li's got like these trunk thighs that make you just go, I bet you she could kick right through your chest. Now we know it's true.
Now we know you can.
Okay. Yeah, she's training with like Hammerstone or something.
Yeah, so now we can definitively book her as somebody who can kick your chest right out of your body. So, let's see. We did have a face-to-face with Ciampa and Thatcher and MSK in the ring on chairs with mics where they're talking shit and smelling each other's hair. Ciampa kisses Nash right on the cheek. What? And then they had sort of a slap fest. It was a little bit of a slap fight, a little bit of not. And then Ciampa was all like, hey, Thatcher, don't murder them. We'll murder them later. Smelled each other's hair again. And I don't know. I like the pull apart. I am excited to see where this match goes. I'm really I thought this promo by all people was fantastic. Amanda?
I'll tell you, this is one of the two matches I want to see. I don't care about anything else. I want to see this, and I want to see Cameron Grimes LA Knight. Yep,
those are my main ones too.
Everything else, I could do that selective fast forwarding and whatever, but I mean, I rarely watch it live, so I have the opportunity to do that, the selective editing. But this is going to be one that I can't say who's going to win. It's Clash of Styles here, right? And we're just along for the ride. And you kind of want MSK to prevail, but then again, it's like it's Toothless Timmy.
Yeah.
And
it's a really hard one to call.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Just a side note, because we were talking about this earlier, that's another good booty, and not Tim Thatcher in wrestling is Wesley.
Okay. I mean, we weren't exactly talking about that.
Well,
directly,
no, but
yeah,
this
is like the Amanda segment.
Well, we talk about fashion, we talk about booties. Yeah. Men's booties
I just want to point that out.
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I got no complaints
if you're keeping
there
score
in that department, keeping score at home. I did like Saray coming up to William Regal in the back and said, Mr. Regal, son, I would like a match against someone like a Tony Storm, please. And he goes, I'll take that into advisement. And I was like, that is the nicest.
She's so nice.
So nice.
So polite. I was like, girl.
But he's also so proper too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Lunar coming through the chat. Cheers to Lunar. He even said on Twitter, he was like, this is the most wholesome request for a match I've ever seen. I was like, yes, it was.
My takeaway with that was, girl, don't let this industry get to you.
Yeah.
Keep it
Hey,
nice.
I'm down with that. If she wants to be all nice and everyone's just like,
Keep
oh,
it nice.
she's just this nice little chick, and then she gets in the ring and destroys you.
Oh
That's
yeah, that's the
awesome.
best part.
You're like, stay
Oh, yeah.
golden, pony boy.
Oh yeah.
That does bring us to the main event. We had NXT North American Championship match with your champion Bronson Reed against contender Isaiah Swerve Scott. Hetero.
I just need to see something else from the woman in Hit Row. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know why she's there.
No, I don't either.
Everyone else I really like, but yeah, it was awesome match.
She's the one person who needs a little bit of juice. Because right now we know Swerve Scott is a badass. We know the tag team is a badass, and we know that she comes out with them.
Yeah, she lip syncs. She probably, I mean, who knows? She sang the song.
It sounds like she's on the
But
track.
I don't know what else she does.
I like her attitude when she is there, but she doesn't say much. So it's just like her presence I like, but I just need more than that. It's like I think she fits, but I don't know why.
Yeah, in the background, I couldn't hear her at all when she was, like trying to be motivating to get Swerve, like, into the match. So I just want to see something else from her. But that's all. But I like it.
I think the conundrum with her, though, is that women's division is that women's division. So I don't want her to get lost up in that women's division.
You could be a great talker, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, I need something more from her.
Yeah, I'm not saying she has to wrestle, but just I don't know, something.
Yeah.
It's like pointless. Like I'm like, what are you here for?
Yeah. But like again, I like her attitude and her presence, so we'll see. What did you think of this match?
It was hard for me, to be honest. Yeah. And why I say that is because it's like these are two people that I really enjoy watching wrestle. So, in your mind, it's going to be really good. Which, it exceeded expectation. Not the results, but, it is what it is. I'm a little sad about that. And, but it was and then when I saw Bronson Reed's post that he made, I was like, oh my God. My heart fell. I'm like, oh. So, but yeah, I was like, wow. So this has a lot of questions for me now. Does this mean that he might be going to the main roster? Or is it too soon?
I think the conversation always comes up when someone loses a big title in NXT is it because they're moving on? And I think that Bronson Reed will do just fine if he does.
Yeah.
I also think that, obviously he was on Main Event against Karrion Kross just last week.
Oh, yeah.
There was the rumors that Vince was at the Performance Center scouting people this week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why someone like Vince wouldn't see Bronson and say, yeah, him, mine now.
Yeah. He likes him beefy. He does.
Yep.
Traditionally. Yep.
Well, and Bronson is a thick boy.
He's a thick boy.
And he is good on the
Shout
mic.
out to the thick people.
Yeah, and that's true. He's fantastic on the mic, and this match was fucking phenomenal. This was such a good match. I loved almost everything about it. I had a problem with the ref in the end, where everyone was sort of getting involved, and then Top Dollar just goes, "Well, watch me," and then fucking just charges at Bronson. Bronson sidesteps him and throws him through the wall, and I was like, come on, ref, just tell them to get the fuck out. Because at the same time, my thought was if the ref's saying, hey, you guys better not get involved or I'll throw you out, and he says, well, then watch me get involved. What was your plan, moron? If you connected, then fucking Swerve loses the match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're fucking lucky Bronson's smarter than you. Because you could have cost your dude the fucking title.
Yeah.
So that was my only problem, is I thought Top Dollar looked like a top douchebag.
I was just excited to see both of these guys. Like, just knowing that they're both being elevated, shot up. I'm just so happy.
Yeah. And also with Swerve, it's like, what do you do with him? Because that's been, I think, the biggest, I think, question mark. Didn't have a title on him. Now he has, let's give him a group. Now he's a title on him. So I think that it's probably better. And knowing that, Vince likes the beefy guys and that he wrestled Cross on main event, which I remember people being pissed about that.
So funny.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that a big part of this was we're moving on up to the east side and to a deluxe apartment, and for both parties. So
yeah, I think so too. Lunar's in the chat. He does say all of them need to start working in the ring. The other guys are a tag team, and they've won in dominant fashion in several matches. And that's what we're saying, is that the woman is the one who hasn't done anything to make us go like, to turn it up. And right now she's set dressing. You know what I mean? And I just want her to be a little bit more than that. Again, I like her presence. I like her swagger. I like the attitude she portrays, but she doesn't say very many words. She doesn't bring a lot to the table. I don't know what else besides just basic presence. And to me, I want a little bit more than that out of a human being. She's not a scarf. You know what I mean?
Well, I think all those things you're describing, it reminds me of Karrion Kross's what's her name? Scarlett. Yeah. It's reminding me of Scarlett, but at the same time, I don't know. I think we've become very comfortable with her, and we know what to expect from her.
She adds something.
Whereas I don't feel like that yet with Hit Row Woman. But I'm trying to figure out what the difference is.
Difference is Scarlett says things and cuts promos sometimes.
Yeah. And I think also with Scarlett, I mean, I don't know if it's been seen on NXT at any point in time, but she can wrestle.
Not only has it not been seen on NXT, it's not been seen anywhere else. I've seen her matches, and I would say that she cannot wrestle.
Scarlett can fucking hurricanrana a fucking bigger dude in fucking 6-inch heels, and it looks beautiful. That is just
one move. That is not wrestling.
No, but I've seen her do other ones. But,
hey, I'm be the ref here. Marsh, you're both out.
You put on 6-inch heels and try to do a hurricane.
I'm wearing them now. I'm doing it right now.
So Justin's in the chat and says that he's terrified about Bronson Reed getting called up because I have a feeling he'll get the Keith Lee treatment, which I did mention that to Marsh, but I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot we don't know right now about Bronson Reed, so I think we can't say that, without any facts, so that's a tough one, but I hope that Keith Lee comes back, gets, the star treatment that he was getting. I mean, hopefully much better stories. But I hope the same for Bronson.
Let's talk about the Keith Lee treatment. Go ahead, Amanda. I'll let you start before I rail on Justin.
I think with Bronson going up, this is kind of he's going to fill that role that they thought they were going to do with Keith Lee. That's how I see it. I mean,
I think it's very possible, because right now what we know about Keith Lee is there's something going on with him that is not a booking or creative decision. It's a personal thing. Him and Mia Yim have both been pretty quiet about it, but have said enough to let people know that it is something he has to deal with, that he's working through. It may or may not be medical or emotional. I heard a rumor about something, but I don't have anything to back it up, so I'm not going to say it. But the idea being that it has nothing to do with the creative or Vince or anyone's desire to move him, because the Keith Lee treatment that you're speaking of, I believe, would be the immediate main event push, right? Where he was in matches with the champion right away, where he was in contendership matches to get in the championship. He was highlighted every week. He was in matches with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre straight away. He was getting star treatment. They pushed him straight to the top. His music was weird, but they were having an issue with licensing the music at the time. He got new music. His new music is dope. I do personally think, as much as I love Bronson Reed so much, I don't like everything about his presentation. was about to talk about his package, but I thought that just might send Amanda down the wrong
Wouldn't
way.
sound as good
No.
now. But also, I mean, look at Matt Riddle. He got shot up too, and people finally have come around. So I don't think everyone being shot up is necessarily a bad thing.
No, I love getting shot up. Okay. But what? I love shooting up. But
This also doesn't sound good. no.
what? But I do think that there's things about Bronson Reed's presentation that could use tweaking. I don't know that I need him to stomp and have the camera shake around weird. I'm glad he got rid of the lizard on his back. I think there's elements of his entrance video that maybe aren't necessary, but I do think that a lot of that stuff is cool. So I'm excited to see what happens with him. I don't think that new music is the worst thing that can ever happen to a wrestler if they're good at, everything else. I don't think the music really matters. And I think that you can get through changes. How many songs has Alexa Bliss gone through in the last year alone? Who else was I just thinking about? Someone else had a bunch of different songs. Kyle O'Reilly's gone through a few. I mean, you can fucking change it, man. Let me see. Lunar says, what's the Keith Lee treatment, though? Isn't he, out with medical issues? Yeah, DM me the issue. He says he's hearing that Reed and Cross are on their way out, which, to be honest, I agree. And Take says it, too. Bronson is big for NXT, not big for Raw or SmackDown. The dude's 6 foot and almost 300 pounds, dude. That's big in general. You know who else used to be on Raw? Finn Balor. Have you ever heard of Rey Mysterio at $175? He's a big guy.
Yeah, and even
He's taller than Otis.
Yeah, and even Dominic is tall, but he's not buff. He's not thick.
No, he's not a thick boy. Bronson Reed will fit in somewhere.
Oh, he will.
And his tsunami splash never looks like it's an easy bump to take ever.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like it doesn't matter how prepared you think you are. You always see the guy grimace at the bottom.
Yeah.
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 Jeremy says, I'm scared Bronson Reed is going to get turned into another Brodus Clay. I don't know. Isn't Brodus Clay racist or something?
I am just, in my mind, I picture, how Keith Lee threw Adam Cole in the audience. I want him to do that with McIntyre.
You want Bronson Reed to yeet McIntyre? McIntyre's a big fucking boy, dude.
So is Bronson when he's got some momentum behind him.
Yeah.
Bronson's not bigger than Keith Lee, though. Keith Lee to Adam Cole is not the same as Drew McIntyre to Bronson Reed. For Christ's sake.
Fine.
Amanda, go ahead. What are you saying?
Yeah. Stupid thing. It's got that timer. And I'm like,
Amanda? Oh, my God. Amanda, did you want to say anything about the idea of Bronson Reed or being called up?
well, I think with Keith Lee and Bronson Reed, I was lucky to see both of them at one time in proximity to standing with each other. And I will say that they're both, the thickness is there, but Keith Lee is probably at least a good 3-4 inches taller. Yeah. So it looks like he's bigger.
I thought she was gonna say firmer.
No. Firm is for tofu, okay? Not wrestlers. But no, I think that, because when I think of Keith Lee, I remember him and whatever Donovan Dijakovic, whatever. And I remember them having a match and those two big motherfuckers broke the ring. It was like, whoa. So, I don't know, but I think definitely he's a good replacement. I'd like to see the two thick boys, Big E and Bronson, mix it up. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah, let's get beefy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Big E has said he likes big men slapping meat. So
yep, and that's a lot of meat. That's a lot of meat. They tell you when you ask where's the beef, can't avoid it.
That's true. Jeremy says, being turned into a dancing dinosaur, not a racist. This is an AEW, pal. We don't have dinosaurs.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Lord. Lord.
He's like 65 million years old. Okay, I believe you. Hey, at the end of this match, though, despite all efforts, your winner and new Swerve took the North American Championship match, and I thought that was pretty fucking cool because something I thought that was really neat about it, which is something that hasn't been getting done, I don't think, by any company a lot lately, if at all. This match wasn't announced. It wasn't until partway through the show that Isaiah Swerve Scott gets in the face of Bronson and says, "Look, bitch, why don't you put up your title?" And Bronson's like, "Okay, I guess." And then he does it, and then the match happens, and then he loses it. It's not often that we see an unadvertised match happen on a show and end with a title change. It really kind of was highlighting the idea of, guys, you may not want to miss NXT because stuff happens on it. It doesn't have to be a pay-per-view. It doesn't have to be a special event. It doesn't have to be booked for weeks for it to mean something. Shit just happens on our show sometimes. You know what I mean? And this show, too, you had a title change and a fucking knockout.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah. Thought it
And
was
you
dope.
also got a war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with Bronson and Karrion Kross. I've been saying for a while there's I have every reason to. I've been saying for a while that I don't know that Bronson and Karrion Kross have longevity in NXT. They seem like not only just physically big, their characters are so big and so polished that I want to see them on a larger stage already. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. Is there anything else that you thought we missed on this?
No, I think we hit it on the head.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, before we wrap it up, I have a little something for our host because it's practically his birthday in less than 24 hours. So we could do a little unboxing part 1.
There's an unwrapping happening. Amanda, it's my
very
birthday
small.
in a couple hours. That was hence the tweets before. Let's see.
Lunars in the chat screaming happy birthday. Clap, 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 clap.
It's purple for anybody, which is our show color, by the way.
Yep, yep.
Purple and gold.
It's going happy birthday.
Oh, wow. It's a graded Tommy Young autographed card from back when NWA had cards like that.
Yeah.
PSA DNA certified. I don't see a grade on it, which is really weird because PSA usually grades that stuff. But it's Tommy Young signed card. Tommy Young is one of the top referees in NWA, it says. Man, I don't even have a year on this. It just says Jim Crockett Promotions, distributed by Wonderama International. I'm going to have to research this card now.
Yeah, there were not many.
Oh, yeah, no, I've only seen this card pop up once or twice when I've even looked. And it says, good luck, Tommy Young. So nice. I have a ref shirt signed by Tommy Young that I want to, it's not worn by him, but I want to get it signed by a ton of refs. And I was thinking about this year, maybe just seeing if I could send it around. But it says PSA, DNA certified. I'll have to look up the number to see, because it says authentic auto. I wonder if they just graded its authenticity and not the card, because this thing's like in mint condition.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see it come with any paperwork, so.
No. You can, yeah, it comes with a number and a barcode. You can look up on their website, and it'll tell you more information about it sometimes. But typically it has like a grading on there. But I mean, it's fantastic, incredible to even have it. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Whee! Pale A Blue says this is scintillating audio content. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I was reading the card. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fantastic. It's going to go on my, the only other autographed card I have by referee is Charles Robinson. That's dope. That's sick. Takes us producer lady for the win. That's awesome. She says part 1. So part 2, I'm expecting Tommy Young to be locked up in the closet, tied up.
No.
Oh, hello. That's horrible.
That's not.
Kidnapped.
That's not what I,
That's
no.
not what's happening?
No. Human
All right.
trafficking
Nope.
bad.
Oh, that's right. I think I read that one somewhere.
Yeah. That's what someone told me.
Yeah, that's what someone told me. Trust me, I've been through it. It's bad.
It's bad. You don't want to have any part of it.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch ground on, Amanda?
No, I mean, it was pretty complete. Marsh, I kind of encourage you to maybe watch next week. Oh, this is the one thing I wanted to mention. I forgot. AEW made this big flipping deal about how, we won't be back at Daly's place for a long, long time. They're going back in a month.
They are going to be back.
They haven't even got you West Coast. Look at that finger.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm flipping you off. So
Did
it was so melodramatic, and then they had a, like, oh yeah, you can get your tickets at da 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 da, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's just Daly's place, and that's a month away.
Yeah, they'll be right back. Yeah, it's like a goodbye forever song. What did you think about that though? We didn't talk about that. I saw a few people. I know Justin in the chat. He's not saying it right now, but he said it on Twitter. He watched that video like a bunch of times and got really choked up. I watched it. It was a nice video.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these clips were from matches I remember not liking, so it was a little weird.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was like, oh yeah, that was not good. But it was very nice as a video package. The song was very fitting. I liked the idea of it. I think their production value on these clips is going up and up and up, which is all you can ever hope for. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff where I was all like, yeah, I don't remember liking that match at all.
Yeah, I'm like,
that was
whoa, really? You're gonna highlight that match? That match was shit.
Yeah. They showed Jericho falling into the pillows. I was like, guys, you didn't have to. That was your choice. They tried to use a further away angle, but still. But it was a nice video. Did you like it? Or you just thought it was a little melodramatic?
You're right about they were matches that I hated. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll agree with that. What never gets old, and they didn't put it in here. They showed Hangman chasing Sammy on the horse, but the golf cart is always my favorite because that became his nemesis. Was the golf cart for a while. I wish they'd put that. And I also think that I don't think it was in there, but a good moment for AEW. Well, actually, no, this was only stuff at Daly's, so no, never mind. I was going to say, a good Cody moment, but no.
Well, I mean, the stuff with Cody I thought was fine. And even when he did that promo, it was a little, scripted and a little on the nose and all that, but it was nice. Yeah. So I didn't have a problem with that. Justin says the Brody Lee stuff is the thing that really hit him in the feels.
Yeah.
And I get that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
and when they showed the bell salute, I'm sorry, seeing Colt Cabana cry is like, I can't.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is that really how you want to celebrate Daly's places? Like, remember when we did a salute?
We did this thing for this dude, and no.
Yeah, I could have done without the sad bit and more of like the celebrating of Brody, like when he was holding up the title and when he was knocking out Cody. I liked that stuff.
Yeah, but
they really went heavy on the the -1 stuff. It just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I've talked about it before, and I'm not trying to knock them in any way. Just it does make me feel that way, and I feel like there's only so much that you kind of replay the boots and the handkerchief and the 10 bell salute or 21 bell salute, whatever it is. I just am not good with numbers. It's not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't remember. At a certain point, it just becomes self-serving, right? That you're just being like, remember we did this for that guy, and you're just like, come on. Like, I appreciate the celebration of Brody, 100%. I have my own little Brody memorial on the wall. I have my RIP Brody armband, like. But I'd have been a little. I think I really enjoyed the stuff where he was celebrating, where he was winning, where he was looking tough. The shots of his face or him looking at the light. I like stuff like that. That's the stuff that makes me feel. That'll get me in the feels a little bit more. I just feel like there's certain times people become a little self-serving with like, don't forget we did this thing. Like okay, well, I also want to remember the guy.
I think
who is it about at that point? I guess
there are quite a few people who are on that roster now that's where they're at right now, where they were. That's what started it. And it would have been nice if they had shown some of those.
Yeah.
I'm not saying starts. Excuse me. But there's others too. And, you know.
Yeah. But it was, I thought it was a really well done video, and I liked it
Yeah.
overall. And yeah, it was neat. But like you said, they'll be back in a month. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
they'll
like
be back
this.
in a month.
Goodbye forever. And we'll be right back.
Yeah, it'll be a long time. Well, you know what? You guys are almost 2 years old, and it's been a long time, and you've gotten nowhere past Las Vegas. And Las Vegas
Dude,
is just,
That's true.
for a special show. So when are you coming out here? That's what I want.
Come on, goddammit.
When you coming out? When you coming out? 1, 2. So Will Hobbs can have his hometown thing. Hopefully they'll wrestle in, I don't know where they would go, because WWE is, they're probably gonna do it in Oakland. So there's real town business. I would love that.
That'd be cool.
That's
cool.
the town.
You don't hear that town mentioned enough in wrestling, so that could be really cool. You get a cool turnout for that.
Yeah, we're gonna get an excellent
WWE. Do you think WWE is going to do a goodbye and love letter video to the Thunderdome?
No.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
They're probably thinking, man, we spent a lot of money on this shit. That's why they're selling.
Yeah.
It's not because you're not releasing wrestlers. It's look at all the shit they bought from the Thunderdome.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do with this? How do we recycle a Thunderdome?
What do you do with it? You can't put it on. Like, who wants that?
I hope they put it on WWE auction and have wrestlers sign the fucking Thunderdome panels. I would legit look for those. 100%.
But how much was that to ship it is going to be outrageous.
Yeah, whatever. Ship me parts of the Thunderdome.
Break a part of the panel and have someone sign it. Like take a nice like sledgehammer and go. 5 people,
100%.
10 people can sign it, and you sell for $100. They make their money back.
I think it'd be good. They can make their money right back. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll do a 10-bell salute to the Thunderdome. Everyone hangs their head and everything in front of the crowd.
They could, and then they can tell us we're saying goodbye to the Thunderdome. It's going to be a long time. But hey, wait, we're coming back in 3 weeks.
Yeah, next pay-per-view in the Thunderdome.
Next pay-per-view.
Pele is in the chat. He says homecoming is in a month, or is a month into the school year, so it is fitting. That's cool. And then Pele also says, I don't think WWE is selling. I think they're buying something big. I think that's a great perspective. They could easily be trying to free up money.
A theme park?
They could be
theme park?
a theme park.
We talked about theme park before.
Yeah.
On episode 1.
We are all about give me the Rock. I don't know, roller coaster.
The Rock and Roller Coaster. Is what
Yeah,
Rock and
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Cena. I don't know, something.
You can actually put a SmackDown hotel on site for people to rent out rooms.
Give me a Fiend Funhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do some stuff. So maybe
Alexa Playground.
Yeah, Alexa's Playground. Yeah, you have to have that. I think you also need to have.
You can have Drew McIntyre's Storytime Library. Just
Give
a bunch
me
of
a
shitty
stone.
No,
books.
you know what they need? It's like at Disneyland and Disney World. They had the sword in the stone. So there's something you can go and try to pull it up or put it back in. That'd be great.
A little Stone Cold bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put his beer there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All the clocks say 3:16 all the time.
Oh yeah,
You never know what
that's
time it
great.
is.
Yeah, 3:16 is drinking time all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think what I would love to see is some kind of like ride that has a lot of corkscrews and loopy loops, because it makes me think of Randy Orton, the Viper.
Yep, you could have a Viper. You could have a Ricochet bouncy house.
Yeah, yeah. But I think with
Could be some
Cena,
stuff.
it's got to be some kind of like, I don't know, like one of those drop rides. You can't see me.
They could do a thing where it's like, you know how you have like those little stand-up things where it's like you can take a picture of somebody and it's a stand-up?
Mm-hmm.
They could have one where it's like a mirror that you sit next to, and when you take a picture, it reflects the John Cena that wasn't there when you were sitting there.
Trippy.
So it'd be like
But
an
yeah.
invisible Cena.
We got ideas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
so
do.
hit us up,
we
guys.
do. McMahon.
Buffet says Pele says the almighty buffet, the Titus World Slide. Yeah, I'm saying, guys, come through with this.
Yeah.
We can make this happen. I think they will be. I think that's a really good idea. The idea that they're freeing up money to make a massive purchase. I like that kind of thinking, because that's what I mean. Everyone's saying they're letting talent go, therefore they're selling. Doesn't equate in my mind. But I'm also not a person who has ever sold $1 billion company before, so I don't know what that looks like to begin with.
Vince is already the Walt Disney of wrestling world. I just, man, if they got a theme park.
Yeah.
We need a theme park.
Yeah.
I mean, the merch.
Imagine the
is-
churros.
We
the
already
merch-
the churros.
Yeah.
We already know the museum's on its way.
The museum's already happening. The churros
Yeah.
will be delicious. But all right, guys. Let's wrap it up. I think it's about time for last call. Amanda, any final thoughts?
You can send. I guess people are sending me butt pictures of Ricky and
Pictures of butts, yeah.
Cena. I
Yep.
guess I don't know. I'm afraid to look at
With any
Twitter.
luck?
I feel like that's a request, Amanda. The way you're
It's,
saying
no,
it.
it's not a request. I mean, I can find them myself, but
Yeah, but if you don't have to, people send the pictures to at Miss Amanda Jane with a Y. What? Amanda, you can always stop a message from coming through, but you could also have an expressive butts by morning. So we're just letting that out there. Justin Time says, disappointing to let Strowman go because they missed out on a train ride called the Strowman Express. They can still do it. They don't need his permission. Put his face on the front of it. They own that shit. Choo choo. Guys, I am at Ref Marsh. This is at WOTR, the show. We're Wrestling on the Rocks, where every show is our first show. Thank you for all coming through, having a drink with us, wishing me a happy birthday, and we'll be back on Tuesday for another episode 1. Guys, that's the last call.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.